Captain. So, I want everyone to make Constitution saving throws.
I'm
rolling something. 24.
That was pretty good.
A 44? All right, I'll take it.
No,
No, I'm just kidding. Oh, damn, that's a good one.
Constitution saving throw. Okay. Let me go to my character sheet.
2.
Yeah, I was looking at mine too.
Got a 24.
Constitution
That'll
plus.
do.
I have a 28.
I got
That'll
an
also do.
18.
Yar.
Yeah, the 9.
All right.
Oh, man. Who's dying and who's not?
Let's find out. Okay, I'm gonna have Eric roll a d6.
2.
2. All right. From here on out, Osrius is missing an eye.
Wow.
But you are all alive. You all kind of separately come to your senses on like fur beds somewhere, and there's a big canvas leather tent over you that you can see, and you can feel a fire burning nearby, and you can smell incense in the air. You guys look up kind of to your sides, and you see each other in the beds, as well as like a few other injured individuals, such as a couple of half-orcs, and you see what even looks like an injured an injured giant, half giant, sorry. But they're asleep and not paying attention to you guys.
It smells good in here.
It does indeed.
I like
You feel at peace. You feel sore. Everyone feels really sore, especially Osrius, who notices a sudden lack of depth perception.
Oh wow, my eye's gone.
So I think that was going to do is it's going to make you have disadvantage on perception-based rolls, like like investigation or something like that. Those kind of things.
That's intelligence, but okay.
No, like things that are perception-based.
Okay.
Like it wouldn't affect other intelligence
I don't
things
like
that you
waking
don't
up in
use your
strange
eyes for.
beds.
You do what? Sorry.
Yeah, so because I don't like waking up in strange beds, considering my most recent history, I immediately like try to hop out of bed and kind of get a sense of my surroundings with my danger sense. Like, where am I? What is going on?
All right, make an acrobatics check because your muscles are stiff.
Acrobatics. 18.
So you successfully hop up onto your feet, cautious and everything like that, and it kind of causes some of the people to stir around you. And you notice the tent flap open, and inside walks a half-orc female, and she's wearing a kind of like a fur robe or something like that, like a very, not like a winterized one, like just kind of like a tribal robe. And she seems to be carrying in a tray of tea and everything like that. And she notices Champion on his feet and just kind of gets startled and just goes, "You're not supposed to be out of bed yet."
Yeah, well, where am I? What is this place?
What do you remember?
Explosion, tower, torture.
Oh, so you can only remember about 3 weeks back.
Well, I mean, I remember what I was doing when I got captured. It's been days of torture. Wait, it's been 3 weeks since the tower blew up?
Dun dun dun! Yeah, you guys have been in a coma ever since. Our shipping vessel, hold on a second. I had a name for it. The Strongol. Noticed the tower exploding and noticed the bodies falling out of the air. Luckily, our best cleric, Grodd, was aboard, and he was able to bring you back from the dead. You were all dead.
So that's what it feels like.
Narrow my eyes.
I find that hard to believe. It's not that easy to kill me.
Where did they take us?
Well, you're very fortunate because you're in the care of the Ganor fortress. You were taken here by the shipping vessel, and hold on a second, I need to figure out. I kind of wrote a whole bunch of notes while I was working. um, so you're in the care of Ganor Fortress. It is a stronghold of half-orcs, giants, Goliaths, and the type. We're on a small island just south of where we found you, just across the sea from Syrr.
You say my kinsmen are here?
There are other giants. In fact, your face is kind of familiar. Where have I seen you here before?
Name's Champion.
Champion. You're not the champion, are you?
I just nod my head.
She kind of gets a little bit excited and sets down the tea all fast and pulls out a little bit of parchment and a quill, and it's just like, could I get your autograph?
I close my eyes, I take a deep breath. And then I flash my proud smile. I'm like, sure, who can I make this up to?
You can make it out to Shazad, your biggest fan. And I just gotta say, when you ripped off Tyrant the troll's head, I lost all sense of reality. It was the most mind-blowing thing I'd ever seen.
Well, you say you're a fan of mine, but you would know I don't kill in the arena anymore.
Ugh.
Haven't done so for years.
Well, it has been years indeed, but you fucking killed that guy. It was a long time ago. I was a little she-elf or she-orc back then.
Oh my god.
Different pointy-eared thing.
Well, it's always great to meet another fan. How are my compatriots?
And she kind of looks over at the rest of you who are just kind of like watching this conversation going on and feeling your soreness and wounds and everything. They should be fine. We've been trying to do everything we could to heal their injuries. In fact, we induced the coma ourselves. We didn't know how your bodies would react to coming back to life after being so close to the threshold of not being able to return. So we would let you go into the coma and heal your injuries before we let your spirit return, so to speak.
Well, I thank you for your care.
Unfortunately, it looks like the human there lost his eye, but I figure better the human than anyone else, right? And she kind of laughs a little bit and elbows you.
I suppose there could be worse fates, like being an orc.
Yeah, I just kind of shrug at that.
Don't worry, Osrius. I'm sure you could just grow another one.
Yeah. Do you know how expensive it is to find a rare eye stem that matches my eye color?
I'm just saying it's possible.
It is possible. I'm telling you, it's expensive.
Shoplift one.
Or expensive. I don't know if we're too worried about expensive Osrius.
So yeah, I will now pat the she-orc on the shoulder and then say, I believe we would need some privacy.
Of course.
It has been an ordeal, it would seem.
Of course. Take all the time you need. I'm just gonna leave these here. These were actually just for you guys. It's not the most delicious thing, but it will certainly rouse your senses.
Thank you. And who's in charge here, by the way?
Oh, you're probably looking for Chief Halfo.
Chief Halfo?
He's over in Vigon Stronghold. In fact...
Well, I'm sure we will give him our thanks as well.
Oh, most definitely. In fact, you should go deliver it in person, because I believe he wants to speak to you at some point, once you're recovered enough and you feel ready to go.
Of course, of course. And with that, I'm just subtly guiding her out the door.
And she leaves, and you guys are now alone with the other comatose patients.
So, we died. Can't say that was the first time.
Such is life.
Can't say won't be the last either.
Yeah, well...
How dangerous you lot are.
I just pray when that day comes, I'm fighting. Not exploding. And yeah, so then I just relate to everyone who, if they weren't fully conscious yet, what information I've gleaned from this she-orc.
So all of you notice that you're just basically mostly bruised and cut up. Osrius's seems to be the only severe injury among you. But you are
Uh,
indeed stiff I mean, you've been laying in bed for 3 weeks after being dead.
on
You have
on
bruises and a bed sore. Walk it off.
Yeah. Yes.
on a
Does that mean
meta
I'm
level,
fully rested?
Does what get arrested?
Does
Sorry.
does that mean I'm fully rested?
Yeah, you are all fully rested.
Okay.
Okay.
so we're at full HP and all that.
Yep, you guys got all your max HP back and everything. All your spell slots.
Well,
I'm sorry, I've been talking and doing stuff all day, so I'm not entirely coherent.
Oh,
I'm doing my
so
best.
I look to my fellows. Well, we seem to be in the thick of it now. What is your next move?
I'm wondering where all these other comatose patients came from.
This town is very famous for its arena. I'm sure most of them are injured from said place. I don't kill in my fights, but I've definitely put a few in a coma.
By the way, out of
Hmm.
character, did you used to kill? I don't want to like totally change your character's backstory or anything.
Yeah, so the time in which he was a gladiator as a slave, he was forced to kill.
Okay.
But as soon as he had his freedom, he stopped killing ever since.
That's what I thought. Awesome. Sorry.
Yeah, even when the thumbs down came in to tell him to kill his opponent, he
And he's just so good that they're like, well, fuck, who else are we going to get to fight?
pretty much. Yeah.
All right. I like it. So what do you guys want to do?
Well, it seems the leader of this place would like to speak with us. So I believe that should be our first move if everyone is good to move.
That'll work. I'm going to try to take a screenshot of the map I drew so at least it's something. Or I can just describe it, but man, it's a fucking sweet map.
Oh, I gotta bring up my beast note. Oh yeah.
And you said we're on an island not too far away from where we already were?
You're across the strait from Syrr. Naaman's Tower is on an island just between Syrr and Ganor. Actually, I have a little map I can show you guys on my webcam if you can see me.
So if we were to get on a boat to go back to here, how far away is that?
Oh
Days?
shit. It would probably only be about a 2-day journey. I don't know. It's got glass, so it's shiny.
It's very reflective, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, basically you guys are just across a sea, and the Tower of Naaman is on an island in the middle of it. It's not a huge sea.
A lake, if you will.
A lake with salt in it.
Imagine, if you will.
A salty lake.
Let's build a city there.
Well, if nothing else, perhaps we could get this chief guy to sign the pact and help us against Messus.
Aha. The tears got that idea.
Well, then you can have the pact, and I take the pact out of my bag and give it to Natir. I don't want to hold it anymore.
Ingenious.
And as you pass it to her, you slightly miss because you got your depth perception wrong, but she gets it.
You have to roll for that.
No. It's just a little story flair.
I am quite well known in these parts, so I can definitely grease a few door hinges.
Whoops. I'm just gonna stop trying to hang that back up.
And during this entire conversation, Champion is doing some monk stretches to limber himself back up.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, your muscles definitely feel a little bit loose after doing them. Give me an athletics roll.
Athletics.
Oh yeah, you don't tear anything. You're real good. You got real good form.
Would the rest of you care to join me? You were dead.
don't know. Am I safe in this place?
You guys, you're gonna lead a yoga class right now?
Yes, I will. And as to answer your question, Osrius, my senses don't seem to be picking up any danger for the moment.
Oh, well, that's good. Very good.
The only danger in the room is how
Me being
cool you
human.
guys are. Yeah, with that too. And
That's
if
kind of
and
what
his
I
depth
meant.
perception when he casts a spell. No, I'm just kidding.
Does he have something over the eye socket, or can we see into that void?
Yeah, it's bandaged right now.
Okay.
All right, that'll do.
Osrius, you should put something freaky into your eyes so you can terrify people.
Might put where is it? You know, that's a good idea. Definitely need to wreak my vengeance somehow. Even though it was an accident, quote unquote.
It seems like we walked into a trap.
It doesn't seem like it was a trap set for us either.
That's what I meant by accident.
An accidental trap.
Accidental trap. But yes,
Yeah, the next time we see that little gnome wizard, we should tell him to put a safe word on his spells.
Banana
he
bread.
owes me an eye.
You should be. I wonder if you can
Fucker owes me an
extort an eye
eyeball.
out of him.
You better find me an
Maybe.
eye, or I'm gonna take yours.
I bet that's something that would totally happen in this shit.
But the tier did give me some ideas because I was thinking of finding like a soul gem and imbuing it with my most powerful spell, which is negative energy flood.
Oh
So I can
yeah,
just look at people and
it's like a basilisk stare or some shit.
it does like that 5d12 necrotic damage, and if they die underneath the spell, then they become a zombie that serves me immediately and attacks anyone I tell it to.
That's fucking awesome. I'm sorry.
You're
It's my first bowl of the day.
I know I had my first hit of earlier, so I'm a little out of it too.
Oh, nice. I kind of like not being high all day.
Right, and that's why I like working long hours sometimes. That's all it is.
Especially for the government. It's not easy to smoke a bowl and then come back and help someone vote.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that'd be great.
have you guys left the healing hut yet?
Yeah, I
No.
think I'm following like champion.
That's right. So as you set out, a cinematic starts going over the city. I
It's like
really don't
wizard
know if you guys are going to
cinematics.
be able to see. You don't need to read the specific words, but this is the general
Oh wow.
look of the
Okay.
island. You can see the docks there on the north. If you see this is Vigon stronghold. You
Okay.
guys
Anything?
are right here. That's the healer's hut. That's
Okay.
The
This
whole
is just a
island?
bunch of. No, this isn't the whole island. This is just the northern shore of it. This is a road that goes south, and this is
Oh,
a
okay.
road that goes east. I think my webcam is mirrored. Is it actually mirrored?
I
It's
found
working
the.
for me.
I discovered the problem. I had my receive
No, that's
and
right.
off. So okay, now I can see it.
I can see
Yeah, and then
with my one eye.
there's lots of other stuff, but I mean, you're not local, so you wouldn't know what all of it is. But
Right.
from where you stand, you can definitely see that there's some sort of square to the east. And Vigon Stronghold definitely is towering over everything. It's kind of built into the foothills that form into cliff faces that surround the whole clearing that makes out the city. And you can instantly know that it's Vigon Stronghold just by the immensity of it and the intimidating form of its architecture. It's kind of got a weird jagged skull-like. It looks like someone kind of broke a tower in half, but that's how the roof is designed, all craggy and broken.
Hmm.
Orcish architecture.
And this is a place that's basically populated by orcs and giants, right?
Yeah, so as you guys are looking over everything, the backstory of the place comes out.
like the brutish kind of
Where the fuck is it? I know it's right here.
folk.
Here we go. Ganor was another city-state, like Syrr and Lefanel that you have encountered so far. It is settled on a large island south of Syrr and Naaman's Tower. They were a kingdom of humans and elves that lived together and kind of hunted the denizens of the island. There was a very popular, because it's a mountainous, deserty island. Lots of cliff faces, lots of caves, lots of just barren, rocky plateaus. And it's populated by a lot of goblinoids and giantoids.
Okay.
So the humans and elves hunted them. There are various tribes all around the area, loosely organized of these denizens, and they claimed manifest destiny over the surrounding land and bit off more than they could chew, not expecting them to unite and oppose them. And eventually, the united tribes of this island took over the city under the lead of Vigon, an orc commander. Eventually, the humans and elves abandoned the city, feeling a war was not worth the effort for the area, and returned to their respective cities of Syrr and Lefanel. And then the denizens and the occupants basically took over the city and turned it into a hub for misfits and lost monsters who just want to be part of civilization. It's populated mostly by half-orcs, as well as full orcs, giants. You've even seen a couple kobolds and bugbears. You've seen a few goblins playing in the alleys in the distance in the shanty towns, and even a few humans and elves are still there. It's not just all of these, so it seems to be a very diverse city. But you notice that there's not a lot of people around. It seems rather dead for the size and the amount of buildings that you see. So that is the backstory.
Okay. So as we're walking through this area, you said like it's not as populated as the size would suggest.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you went out on the streets nowadays. Well, maybe not nowadays, but yeah.
Okay. Since I do frequent the arenas in this area quite often, can I roll a history with advantage to see if I know what's been going on in this place?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and give me a history check.
Woo!
Oof.
9.
No, you know about as much about this place as you do your own name and everything. Don't you have amnesia? No, it's the other character. Oh shit. You don't know very much about it. About it recently. You haven't been here since you were a slave.
Okay.
You can try my history if you like.
Do it up.
I got 6. No, 8, sorry.
You know very little about it. None of the schools in Syrr taught about the Vigon conflict.
Makes sense why.
Honestly, they have a whole holiday where supposedly a human had a big dinner with an orc person and they became friends.
This sounds awfully familiar.
As a half orc, can I do a history check to see if I know about this?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, that wasn't that great. But that's 13.
You rolled a d12, by the way.
Did I? Oh,
Yep.
Oh, you
cool.
did.
Let's try that again.
You still rolled a
18.
d12.
What? What the fuck, mouse?
There you go.
Oh.
Oh. You were better off with the
12.
d12. Have we established where you're from?
I don't think so.
I didn't think so either. I didn't see the backstory in what I have from you.
The backstory I have for her is pretty vague. It's just that Natir was raised by full orcs in some tribe, which is pretty rare for a half orc. They don't usually do that.
I can work with this. So yeah, you are actually from Ganor Fortress. You haven't lived there since your childhood, but as people pass, you seem to notice that they'll even like wave at you and smile at you, and it feels so strange seeing a full orc smile at you. But that's what's happening. People seem to be, not uncomfortable around you at all.
This is weird. Do these people know me? I mean, this place seems familiar, but
You were very
I
young.
can't quite recall it.
In this town, there's little difference between an orc and a half orc.
I mean, they're
Mm.
just the racial differences between them, but they don't really. I think maybe the orcs probably have like a little la-di-da attitude of the half orcs or whatever, but they're not like dicks about it. And I've tried.
They don't care, is what you're saying. That if they're hacked.
Yeah, no, they all intermingle pretty well, and it doesn't seem like anyone is like discriminated on solely because of their race, or at least not systematically. Maybe there's a few people that are probably like, "Ugh, I don't associate with elves" or something like that, but there's just gonna be those people.
Well, I can understand that. Nobody likes
Racists
elves.
exist in every race.
Oh yeah,
You're
you're
I'm
gonna meet a racist
kind of keeping
bugbear.
an eye out for Goliaths as we're walking through the town.
For Goliaths, yes, you actually see a few of them. You see a Goliath couple with a Goliath child in tow, and they seem to be walking towards what you can kind of see is a little wooded area within the city walls.
Is the child as tall as me?
The taller.
Jesus.
And I just smile and wave at all the Goliaths I see. And it's been a while since I've seen any of my kin.
They give you a traditional Goliath salute, and then you suddenly see the parents' face light up, and they go, "Oh, oh!" And you can see that they're talking to their kid and being like, "Oh, we used to watch this guy when we were your age."
I do want to point out, I mean, I'm not that old. Like I'm 35. Like, yeah.
Yeah, no,
But,
they're like in their late 20s. If
okay.
yeah, it's a very
Yeah.
young child,
A freakishly huge young child.
a freakishly huge young child. How tall are Goliaths? How tall are you?
So I'm 7'5".
Okay, so it's not taller than you, but it's pretty
Yeah.
close.
Goliaths at full height end up somewhere between 7 and 8.
Okay, yeah, so I imagine a 6-year-old child probably isn't 6 feet tall, but it's still very tall for a. It looks like just a short man, honestly. Like Tom Cruise, but a Goliath.
But yeah, I mean, I offer my traditional Goliath salute back to them as well, though it's modified because of where my tribe is from, which is not this area.
And even though they're excited and fans, clearly they respect your privacy and don't come up and ask for an autograph. But they go off recalling one of your fights to their child.
Okay.
So many orcs and half orcs in one place. It's kind of
I like it.
And
You sound comfortable.
to
What?
notice that they
Change
don't.
from elves.
Yeah, they don't seem to be even peeved at Aurelian, which is probably the one that him and Osrius are probably the ones they'd be most about. But they don't even. They kind of cast you like a side glance, but they're not like, what the fuck.
What is Aurelian?
Aurelian's an elf, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're a woody elf.
I'm a woody elf.
Oh,
There's
I
a
like
snake
titles.
in my boot.
All I know
Too snobby.
All I know is that orcs like to chop wood, and I like wood, so.
Don't chop my wood.
I love that logic.
That's basically how it is in Dwarf Fortress. I like wood.
I mean, that's kind of like the Warcraft conflict, isn't it? That's exactly how the Night Elves got all pissed off at the orcs. They're like, hey, stop chopping wood. It's all wood. We're walking here, eh?
It always starts with the wood, then it always escalates from there.
And the orcs are like, oh yeah, you want to fuck with us, yeah?
Swedish orcs.
Yeah, right? That's the accents, right? No one knows.
Hey, I thought you ready, little humans, yeah?
What if if
Alright.
I could do voices like Matt Mercer, but I just did entirely different accents than you'd expect for each race? Like I was like a Swedish guy for a dwarf. Actually, that's not too far off. All right. So yeah, you see them coming to and fro. It's not. It's very parse. It's very sparse populated and everything like that. It's about early. I would say about 10 a.m. about. So it's
Okay.
not too late in the day.
I want to try to find like maybe a shaman or this community's mystic leader or someone that has a lot of magic.
Okay. Looking around for kind of some distinct architecture that might indicate magic users live there, you do notice a sort of temple over past the square that you can see on your right.
And is there anyone that's like walking by that I can ask, like, hey, what's this place?
Let me check. Where the fuck are my dice?
A dungeon master with no dice? No, I'm just kidding.
I've like got no brain cells, so I like probably shouldn't have smoked weed, but I kind of also really needed to. All right. Okay, you do see a a kobold walking by, actually.
Oh God.
Yes.
I addressed the kobold and I'm like, do you know what this place is?
What languages do you speak?
Common, Dwarvish, and Elvish.
Are you gonna ask in common?
Yeah, common.
Okay,
I always talk in common at first.
I know. That was a silly question.
Let's get
He actually does speak common, so he goes, "What place again?" And he doesn't looking.
Are you familiar with the area around here?
I'm a trader. I come in to and fro. I don't live here or anything like that, but I come pretty often. Yeah, I know the area. What do you want?
Do you know if this is a temple of anyone in particular? Have you ever been inside?
Well, that's the temple of the All Gods.
God.
Everyone is welcome to worship there. No one is excluded. No one is singled out.
Could I perhaps purchase magic there?
Well, I imagine some of the clerics and the shamans around there probably have something that you could use. I don't exactly know what you would purchase it with. I don't know what they use around there. They don't seem to want any of my wares. By the way, are you guys looking for some new shoes?
Actually,
Possibly.
Look at my feet.
You all are wearing hospital slippers, but tribal
All the
hospital
rest of our
slippers.
belongings.
Not on you. You haven't gone to grab them or anything. You guys are pretty much just in like linen clothes. Basically just kind of underwear and bandages.
What?
But you guys are heavily
Well,
bandaged enough that it's not indecent.
Well,
I
I
guess
feel
I'll go back
naked
and
without
get
my
my stuff.
weapon, so
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
yeah.
pop my blade of change into my hands.
Oh yeah, that's right.
How far away are we from the hospital?
You guys are just out the front door of it. You guys haven't really gone
I'm
one
gonna,
way
I'm
or
gonna
another.
step back in really quick, go to the receptionist. Where are
The receptionist.
I'm right behind him too.
There's
This old man.
there's a half orc dude just chilling there. You can tell that his other half is elf, not human.
Interesting.
friend? We have recently awoken. Do you know what was made of our supplies?
So he's like reading some sort of flyer or something like that that's written in Orcish, and without looking up, he just kind of like points down the hall.
So yeah, I just reach over, I take the flyer out of his hands. Can you be a little more specific, please? And I make
Alright.
sure he sees my face.
Give me a persuasion check.
Ooh.
Oh.
He doesn't say anything. He just glares at you and snatches the flyer back and points with more aggressively down the hall.
Alright. This time, I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder. I'm gonna grip it a little menacingly. I'm like, now, take a good, hard look at me, friend, and
All right.
tell me,
Um,
but more specifically than just a finger, where are my fingers?
Give
And
me
then I'm
an
gonna roll
intimidation roll. Yep.
And again, I'm making sure he sees my face.
Oh yeah, you've like physically turned his face towards your face. Okay, he understands. He nods. You can tell that he's not being disagreeing or anything like that. And he opens his mouth, and you see that he doesn't have a tongue.
oh.
And he
Oh.
points again, but kind of more like, "Please."
Can you show us where it is rather than pointing? Or are you supposed to be up here?
He kind of takes a big sigh, and he goes, and he grabs the Goliath's hand, and starts pulling you guys towards
I'll follow along.
the wing. So he takes you down the hall, and then he goes into a door on the left, and on the left you can see a very poorly scribbled line in common that says item pickup. And you guys go in there. It also has orc and other translations in there as well that are written much better. And you guys go into the area, and you see that there's just like a number of like cages, like it's almost like a dungeon cell area or anything like that. And he kind of takes you up to one and unlocks one of the doors, and there's a trunk in there, and it seems to have all your guys' stuff.
Oh, yes.
good.
I
Thank
can be
you.
clothed.
I just thank you, friend.
Yes,
And
thank
I
you.
just allow him to walk back to his post.
He
And before he leaves, I also put my hand on his shoulder. I'm like, I know what you're going through, or what you've been through, and I like show him my eye. I've lost something too.
give me a charisma check.
Do I get advantage since we both have something in common?
Yeah, definitely.
9 plus my charisma, so 10.
He kind of looks at you, and he tears up a little bit, and then he hugs you. He's just like, finally someone. You just get that vibe from him. Instead, he
I
just
start
goes,
crying,
"Arr!"
I was like, this is all I ever wanted, was just someone to hug me.
The rest of you feel a little awkward, but
Yep.
they're really having a moment. You can tell they both needed this.
Well, while they're having their moment, Champion just starts stripping off his rags
Get an
and
inspiration point.
bandages so he can start getting his clothes on. He doesn't really actually care that anyone else is in the room. He's just doing it.
So you guys watch Champion unbandage himself and remove the clothes the hut gave them, and full on dong out and getting into his new gear, or into his old gear.
Well, I guess it's my turn then. And I stop. Like, all right, I better get undressed, but I'll, Godspeed, Pearl.
He notices that you start getting undressed, and he kind of starts getting really uncomfortable, and he's like, and then he runs out the door.
Yes, please go. I don't want you to see this. It's not pretty. I mean, have you seen what a 30-year-old man's, Never mind.
he's running down the hall.
Oh, he's gone. Okay, good.
Yeah, you're like yelling this out the door at him after him as he's running away. Have you ever seen what a 30-something?
I can imagine it's pretty rubbery down there.
What? You never been in a men's locker room?
Screw it. I'm gonna go ahead and change to and put on my plate armor.
I'm gonna put on my hide.
Hide.
All right, all of you guys go full on sports team mode and change in front of each other.
Next thing you know, people are gonna be like taking the bat towels and twirling up and trying to get each other's bat towels.
Yeah, you guys feel slightly more bonded than you were before.
Champion is also observing everyone, trying to get a sense of how strong they are, their muscles and what they look like.
So as each of you are changing, you see Goliath just kind of just staring you down. You're changing your clothes and just being like.
As I notice that, I cast darkness where he's standing.
She casts darkness on you, so you can't see. It creates an orb of no vision.
Pure
Magic
black.
dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that even dark vision can't pierce.
No peeking.
So now you guys
That's-
have all your shit.
Yay.
And
I have my shoes.
do you have your shoes? You have your sweet ass wizard shoes. Wait,
Yeah.
did we have special shoes for you?
No, I just was wondering if I had shoes.
You have sweet shoes. They look like Aladdin shoes. They curl.
Do they have little bells on them?
If you want them to.
A little bell.
No, 'cause it's too
Jake,
annoying.
That would.
Disadvantage to stealth.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I might have given you disadvantage to stealth if you had bells on your shoes.
That's why I was asking.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it could be a distraction for.
Good for a
Look
bard.
at me, I'm the squishiest one of the group.
Turn on greater invisibility, but the bells are just still going on.
Incessant
Group
ringing.
Be the group gesture, like enemies while we kill them.
You know, I actually watched a documentary about gestures earlier today.
Oh
I'm not gonna
yeah?
get into it, but it was pretty interesting.
That does sound actually pretty interesting in a weird way.
They do a lot of things more than just make you laugh. But anyway,
They raise your children.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, when they're away and they can't like take care of them, like that jester is the only person that they trust to do that kind of thing.
Just picturing that in the modern society where it's just like, all right, I gotta leave, so you gotta go to Jerry Seinfeld's house. What's the deal with this broccoli I cooked?
Who is this 7-year-old?
Have you heard of the Mongols?
Jerry Seinfeld reading Harry Potter to them as they all sleep.
Oh,
So I
that's
put his name in the goblet of fire!
a true story in their
It's
world.
not a calmly.
And then Dumbledore goes, Harry, did you put your name in the goblet?
And he didn't put his name in the goblet. What's up with that? All right. Anyway, that was a good bit.
I want to go back to the temple now that I'm fully clothed.
All right. Now that you're fully clothed, you figure your way back out to the street. This is so hard. Why is this so hard? And you start walking east, towards the temple, and you cross a square. There's a large stone square in the middle of the city, where there seems is it an obelisk? Fuck, hold on, shit, tits. No, it's a clock tower. It's a big ass clock tower that seems to be like elven architecture. Is built in the middle of the plaza, and it has a single crack in the clock, and you can tell that the clock is not running anymore. And around it is burning 4 enormous orc-style pyres that seem to be in constant supply. It seems like they have guards even near them to make sure that they don't go out.
Are they religious-y looking?
Not really. They're not like in an effigy or any kind of arrangement. They
It's
just
just
seem to be
fire.
enormous pyres. Yep.
Okay.
Big ass bonfires and big ass holders.
Are there any food vendors around?
What would you roll for smell?
Smell?
Passive
Survival?
survival? Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, do a survival check.
That's 5.
So you can't really smell any food in the air, but you probably could get directions to some place that sells food. You don't see any place in the immediate vicinity that seems to sell food.
Okay.
What about
on the kebabs?
What about that stuff that one nurse or whoever she was left for us?
The tea?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it's still back there. It's probably cold by now.
Yeah.
Oopsies.
You want to go back for it?
I'll at least drink it.
Okay.
Cold.
Yeah, it's not the best you've ever tasted, but you definitely like she said, feel a little bit more alert and less like you just woke up from a 3-week coma. You feel as limber as Champion does.
Good, I can stretch my cat-like legs.
And he does, and in a weird way, it's seductive. It's It's like an old school prostitute sticking out her leg off the curb or whatever.
With the lace and everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
Heels. All right. So, what would you like to do, Aurelian?
I would like to look for like some sort of beast, bestiary, or some sort of pit where they keep beasts.
So you don't really have quite an idea of what that would be, but you did notice that there seemed to be a wooded area in the city, so perhaps that would be the best place to look.
And that's where I'm off to.
So you end up kind of following Osrius. You go up to the same square where he is. Natir, what would you like to do?
Well, I suppose, orcs are known for their blacksmithing, so I'm gonna go see if I can find a blacksmith.
Okay. So you give me a is perception a thing, or is it passive perception that I'm thinking of? Give me a passive perception check. Is that a thing?
That's
Passive
just
perception
9.
is like if you're not paying attention, like what's going on. If you're actively
That
looking
makes
for
sense.
something, then it would be more perception.
Yeah. Give me an investigation roll.
Oh, I like that a lot better than perception. Oh, okay. Well,
So you're kind of just standing around the same way that Champion is. You both are kind of like swiveling your heads around, not quite sure where to look. Perhaps someone could give you directions.
I'm walking up
Or
to a
maybe you're a strong, independent half-orc who don't need no directions.
Who don't need no kobold to tell you directions.
yeah, I think I'm just gonna wander around until I find a blacksmith.
Do you want to join her, Champion?
I'm going up to the nearest local and asking if there's a meat vendor anywhere.
Okay. Give me a charisma check.
Do I get advantage since I'm famous?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I forgot almost for a second.
Nice. Everybody knows the champion.
Oh yeah. So the nearest it's not exactly a passerby, but you kind of just notice someone kind of picking at his cuticles near the doorway of one of the buildings across the way, and he looks up at you and he goes, "Oh, what? What? You want meat? Oh, you want to go to the marketplace, or you could go to the shanty town if you're kind of more into fish.
Where's the marketplace?
It's just past Triumph Square, and you'll see it on the left. You can't miss it. There's no buildings between it and the square.
I take his directions.
Wait, before you go, will you sign my cart?" And he pulls a little card out from behind the door and kind of gives you like a little marker, not a marker, like a like a like a burnt end of a plant that you can smudge with.
Oh, something
Yeah,
right
so-
with.
I look up for a second, close my eyes, just get that monk inner peace going on. I'm like, of course, friend. All right, I'll go ahead and who am I making this out to?
You can make it out to Belinda. I'm gonna give it to my wife.
Belinda. I'm champion, and this is my favorite person in the town.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Here, your next meal's on me. And he tosses you 3 gold.
Thank you, friend.
I'd recommend the lamb shanks.
Lamb shanks. I will keep that in mind. You are a good man.
And so you leave your adoring fan to watch you as he in awe as you leave. Natir, you start kind of wandering around. Do you wander east or west?
Uh,
Do you take a left or a right? West. Okay. So you kind of go in the opposite direction of everyone else, kind of towards Vigon's stronghold, and you kind of notice there's just a lot of buildings around you. They're half of them seem to be like improvised shacks, and the others seem to be kind of like run down human and elven blended buildings that were built many years ago.
Interesting. Look, just a lot of domiciles.
And as you keep walking, you eventually come to the gate leading to Vigon's stronghold. and you see a couple of guards manning the area. Osrius,
Okay.
sorry,
No, go
Osrius.
ahead.
What do you want to do? You are at the square. Aurelian, and then has just arrived, and just behind him you can see Champion coming up to the square as well. So basically, the three of you are there.
I wave to them as like I'm here, and then I go into the temple.
I nodded back to him.
You what?
I just when he waved at me, I nodded back.
Nodded. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm here. Where I'm going.
And as you waved, you saw like another like a goblin kind of standing in front of Champion, kind of like look confused and be like. And then when he notices him waving, he's like, "Oh God!" And he just kind of walks off into another alley.
Not again.
Okay, so you go to the temple, which you have to kind of go through an alley and a little bit more of residential area. But as you get there, you notice that it's very quiet, and it seems to be kind of like a dome structure, and it's got turrets on each side of the entrance. Honestly, it's very mosque-like, but it's got kind of like a thorn, horn, bone kind of vibe going with it.
May I do a religion check?
Yes.
I got 12.
So you can definitely recognize that there seems to be a human god in there that you think you remember hearing about one time.
What was that?
You don't recall their name or anything like that. You just definitely know that some people around Syrr worshipped him. It was something you saw in the buildings when you were around there.
Oh, okay.
I'm wondering if I can make a pit stop with him there too, because I want to see if my god is at that temple
Yeah, definitely.
and make a religion check as well.
Do it on up.
Swipe.
Who's your god again?
Be nat 20.
Who's your god?
You got a nat 20?
Instantly no.
I can't remember. I think it's Silverius. I think.
So you definitely see like
Kinda
on the entryway has symbology from a whole bunch of religions, and you recognize all of them. It's pretty much every god in the realm, as well as a few tribal ones that you happen to know about, but not most people do. It seems to include literally every religion you've ever learned about.
Quite the place of worship.
And you notice above the door it says Church of the All Gods, and it says that in like 13 different languages. So, as you guys go there, Champion notices the marketplace, which is just across a graveyard from the temple, just kind of on the edge of the square. I don't know if
Weird place for a marketplace.
I don't know if you guys can see this, but here is the square where my finger's there, and
Right.
then there's the temple where the other finger is.
Mm-hmm.
There's a graveyard there that on the yard of the temple, and then there's the marketplace. All these
Okay.
buildings.
Yeah, well, I'm looking for a meat stall first and foremost, and I'm
All right.
particularly looking for that anime meat where it's just like a round piece of meat around a bone.
So as you walk into the area, you're just bombarded by smells. You smell some fish, you smell some steamed vegetables, you smell beef, and you smell other meat that you don't quite recognize, and then you smell a very distinct scent of lamb shanks. And it's almost the first stall on your right, and you can kind of see a dragonborn chef, and he's wearing a chef hat, flipping up some lamb shanks off of his grill, and the fire kind of erupts for a second, and the people standing nearby are like, "Ooh!"
He's like a hoo-hot chef.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like my guy. If there's a crowd around this dude, must mean there's food. Good food.
Oh yeah. And you notice him serve up one of the lamb shank he was just cooking up to one of the customers, and all the other customers who didn't get it still clap. It's that much of a spectacle.
Is it anime meat though?
It is anime meat. It's a lamb. It's a bit of lamb
Anime
with a
meat.
shank of bone coming out of it.
Oh, that is amazing. All right, yeah, no, I'm getting in line. I don't know where the front is, or where the line is, but I'm getting in it.
Well, there was a line, but as everyone notices you approaching, most of them just kind of stop and wonder and just go like, whoa. The younger ones are a little bit confused, but they're like, oh, this guy looks like he knows his business. So they're a little intimidated, but the older folk are like, whoa, move out of the way. Let's get this guy some lamb shank.
I am deeply uncomfortable by this, but like I have that monk's, you know, tranquility going on. So like it's not reading on my face, but I hate this sort of thing.
give give me a charisma check.
All right. Can I make it a performance check?
Sure, yeah, that makes more sense actually.
That's dang.
Okay, so you try to pull off a cool guy persona, but you do seem a little flustered for a second. Then you regain your composure.
All right, and at this point, I'm now forced to acknowledge everyone, so I just start waving, smiling. I heard there's some good old lamb shanks around here. Someone point me in the right direction, huh?
Everyone laughs way harder than anyone actually would at that joke, and and they move out of the way. And the chef guy sees you, and he doesn't seem to be like really impressed or anything like that. And he's just like, you on a shank?
Yes, please. Can I get 4?
4.
Yes.
My kind of man. And he goes right to work on cooking them. As he's cooking them, Natir is standing before the imposing gate of Vigon Fortress.
Okay. So I approached one of the guards and I asked them, "Hi there. Is there a like master blacksmith around here?"
Master blacksmith. And the other one kind of like slaps him. And he goes, "Hey, you're not supposed to talk to them." And he goes, "Oh, right. And then you need to make a charisma check."
Okay. It's a 6.
He kind of leans in. And he's like, "Look, I'd love to help you, but I can't. If I get caught talking, I'm gonna get fucked in the ass."
Caught talking, I'm gonna get fucked.
Yeah, I definitely will fuck you in the ass if you don't tell me.
Do an intimidation check.
With my little blade here.
16.
The other guy's just like, "Oh, just tell her." And the first guy's just like, "Oh, okay, thank goodness. I just didn't want to get fucked in the butt either way." You're just gonna want to go. You were gonna want to go to the marketplace. It's just past Triumph Square. You just got to turn all the way around and go back the way you came. You can't miss it. You'll hear all the dinging and everything like that. And you know what? Tell him Sirach sent you.
Syrr? Okay.
And
Isn't that a fucking tequila or something? I just realized that.
A Syrah?
Fuck it, that's his name.
I don't know.
Syrr. Okay.
I think it's some sort of liquor.
Syrr.
And he just kind of like nods because he noticed some movement on his right, and he gets like really nervous, and he looks, and he's just like another civilian just walking around, and he goes, "Whew." He just goes, "Yeah, you're welcome."
You're pretty jumpy for a guard. Don't you think you should be a little more confident in your position?
The other guard starts kind of laughing. He goes, "He's on his 3rd strike. You don't want to see the shit they've already put him through."
Oh, jeez.
I guess he really did mean the fucking in the ass.
I had to
Might be
clean
time
up
for you to
poop.
orc up.
I had to clean up poop with a spoon.
Oh my god! I just start breaking out laughing and walk away.
He definitely gets very bashful, and his friend is just like, "Hey, it's okay. Everyone's had to do the spoon."
Even old Billy here did the spoon for 3 weeks.
So you're gonna go back towards the marketplace?
Yeah.
All right. So you begin the not quite long but not quite short trek over there as Osrius and Aurelian are entering the Temple of the All Gods. As they enter, it's just a big circular anteroom with a couple of like nooks on coming off the side of them with shrines to kind of individual gods there. and you kind of
Alcoves?
notice. Yeah, alcoves. That's the word.
Yeah.
Thank you. Uh, and yeah, you see all of those, and there's candles lit behind each of them. They seem to be very well maintained. You see flowers behind some. You see weapons bloodied in front of others. At the front of the church, you can kind of see a guy wearing a very simple robe sweeping the floor, and you notice that he's a half orc monk.
I approach the monk and I ask him, who's the temple's primary, what's the word I'm looking for? The head theologian here.
Oh, you're wanting. He's got an accent like this. Oh, you're gonna be wanting. Holy shit. Uh, you're gonna be wanting Shaman Nigel.
Shaman Nagel.
He's currently in meditation underneath in the basement. But if you give him 10 minutes, he might be woken up. I don't think I would disturb his meditations if I were you.
All right. I'll wait.
Oh, that's so polite. Aurelian, what do you want to do?
So I walk over to my god's shrine, Sylvanas,
You spot it right away.
if that's possible.
Yep, you walk over there. There seems to be like a bunch of tree limbs and flowers and everything like that placed around the feet of your goddess or god. I don't remember.
Yeah, you're right. God. And so I kneel down to pray and ask Sylvanas for a blessing or a gift of some kind, and I also donate 1,000 gold to the shrine coffer.
Damn.
If there is any.
So as you put your gold into the coffer of Sylvanas, you kind of hear the monk that Osrius was just speaking with go like he just got really caught off guard by you doing that.
Hasn't been on a donation in a while, I see.
Not of that size. Who did you fuck? What did you fucking do?
Get this money.
Represents my devotion and sacrifice to my god. But I didn't anything.
That's that's cool. Thanks. um, so give me her religion check.
Okay. That will be a 16.
Okay. So as you pray and everything like that, you feel sort of a warmth and a stillness inside you, and you feel Sylvanas' presence within you, and you know that she has listened to your prayers. And Osrius, you're just gonna chill out while we wait for him. Okay.
'Cause
So
I have a great respect for religion.
Champion, the cook is just pulling off your fourth lamb shank from the grill, and he's put it into a long tray-like plate, and he's serving it up to you, and he hits his little bell that's on his counter.
Oh, wonderful. It is always great to see a master at work. How much?
You should have said.
Mm.
Never mind.
Give me a charisma check.
Charisma check? Okay.
Yeah.
It's 9.
It's just 3 gold.
3 gold? Alright, I give him 6.
Oh, he gets really excited when you hand him that, and he's just like, hey, come back anytime you want. The next one's on me.
Will do. Before I go, though, could you perhaps point me in the direction of a blacksmith? I need to upgrade my equipment.
Oh yeah, you're gonna want. You probably hear the dinging in the air now, and you hear the dinging in the air. you're gonna want to go past the guy who's selling wooden toys, and you're gonna want to go through the alley past the little pig pen that they have for people who are trying to buy livestock, and you're gonna want to go around the stairs, and then you'll find it. You can't miss it, as long as you don't miss it.
Okay. Thank you. And I just give him a monk little bow, and I take my meat, I take one of them out, and I just start eating while I walk.
And he kind of flourishes his tongs and bows, and then he goes, "Next!"
I thought it would have been hilarious if you would have said, nothing like seeing a master at playing with his meat.
Oh, jeez.
No, my wisdom is too high to make such a crude joke.
So yeah, you go off towards the blacksmith, and as you do, Natir has just come up to the marketplace, and you can kind of see Goliath, or Champion, sorry, walking through a small, sparse crowd of shoppers, and make a turn.
I'm gonna follow him because
Because you hear
Most
dinging in the
likely.
direction that he's going.
yeah.
So, all right, yeah, you go with him. And then I'm so
Cool,
sorry, I have a headache. Trying.
Since she's there,
What's that?
do I get the feeling that someone's following me? I got that.
Yeah.
feeling.
How does passive perception check work? Do I just say make a passive perception check,
Uh,
or do
well,
I roll against it? That's what it is, right?
Well, no. So basically my passive wisdom is 14. So I've always have rolled. It's like I've rolled a 14. So yeah, essentially you would have to beat a 14.
Gotcha. That's kind of what I
I
thought it
also have
was.
danger sense. I can just get the uncanny sense of when things aren't as they should be, which gives me an advantage for dodging. So I can tell if someone's falling.
Yeah, so you definitely kind of hear the soft footfalls of matching your footsteps too much, and you notice that someone is following you, but they seem to become following at a distance.
Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna keep walking.
So you keep walking, but you keep tabs of the person following you, and you've definitely confirmed that they're still following you as you make the turns the Dragonborn chef indicated, and you kind of walk up a short flight of steps to like a little, like a kind of like a stage plaza area or whatever that's completely occupied by a giant forge and enormous stone counters where just hundreds of weapons, armor pieces, trinkets, furniture items, candlesticks, mugs, just all kinds of metalwork all over on the counters for sale. And at the forge, you can kind of see like a team of people working. You see one goblin, and you see actually a dwarf as well. And the guy that seems to be in charge is a full orc guy, and he's just smashing hard on the biggest sword you've ever seen.
Okay. Which one of them looks like they're not currently busy with a task?
There seems to be the dwarf guy kind of seems to be tying strips of leather around the hilt of a sword, so he doesn't seem to be quite involved in like something that's actively heated.
Okay. So I'll walk up to the dwarf. Well, Master Blacksmith. I'm here to buy some new equipment, if you don't mind.
Ah, new equipment. Well, we got plenty of that. And he kind of gestures towards the shelves and he says, "Whatever you can imagine, we've got something that'll sate your need."
Great. I am looking for 2 items. Uh, as you can see, I use a bow staff. Getting the bow staff.
Oh,
Do you have something of a better quality material?
well, of course. Look at that thing. That thing's not going to do any damage, and you're going to break that after 2 swings. What you need is a reinforced carbon rod. I don't actually know. That doesn't sound right. A reinforced. It's a really good titanium. It's titanium.
Mithril?
Titanium mithril. Yeah, there you go. Fuck.
Adamantine.
You're gonna, if you want the best of the best, you're gonna want it made of mithril. And then you kind of hear, you see, one of his coworkers go, mithril again. Dwarves and mithril is the best shit ever made. And you kind of hear the whole full orc laughing, and the dwarf is trying to actively ignore it and just act like he didn't hear it.
Can I roll an insight to see if maybe there's better metal?
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
19.
BRB.
So, you know that titanium. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. There's a titanium steel alloy that is basically the same thing but much lighter.
I heard
But it
there's
is incredibly rare and expensive too.
That's not a problem for me. I heard there was something even stronger than this. Titanium? I believe that's a common word.
And he kind of you it's like you said a trigger word for him, and you kind of see like a little vein bulge on his thing. He's like, enough of the goddamn titanium. Everyone thinks titanium's gonna be the new hot shit, but they're coming back to Mithril when that breaks in their hand and they get clobbered by an ogre in the fucking mountains. All right?
Okay, Master Blast. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. His coworkers have even kind of stopped what they're doing and being like, "Yo, calm down, Zig. Just chill.
But that being
Natir,
said,
you're watching all of this, by the way. You've kind of come up after the very first little exchange and are watching this.
Okay.
okay, it's okay, friend. That being said, do you have any titanium quarterstaff?
And he just goes, "Oh, thank you." Ooh. And he just kind of goes, and just like walks away. But his coworkers are still there, and they're kind of like laughing and everything like that. And they're like, "Yeah, we got that and everything." Like he refuses to work on it. He's a little prissy bitch. He's got the sensibilities of an elf. Am I right?
I've met some pretty fine elves in my life. But thank you. So yes, this titanium. How much would that cost a man?
Well, how big do you need your staff to be?
Something I can very easily use in both 1 and 2.
All right.
But I do also have some pretty big hands.
And they kind of laugh at that, and they're like, "Huh, big hands means," and they elbow each other. They go, "Hey, let us give you a measurement. I'm sure we can get the perfect size staff. Staff for you, right? That's what we're getting, right?"
Yeah, a staff.
Okay. Yeah.
But also, in addition to that, since we're getting measurements, I'm also looking for some sort of gauntlets I could wear. I do a lot of fighting, and my enemies are just getting stronger. So I need the best equipment.
Their eyes lock on your hands, and they kind of get a little excited, and they're like, "Yeah, we can come up with something."
All right. Thanks. So I guess measurement time.
Yeah. Good thing Zig didn't want to do this one. He would suck at this part. And so, so one of them pulls up like a little step ladder and starts measuring you with some loose tape measure. And as you're doing that, you notice Natir has kind of been looming over your shoulder, and you kind of just noticed, oh, that is Natir.
I think I know who my tail was. Hello,
Okay.
Natir. I bought meat, and I just shred the meat so you could have one.
Oh. Okay. Master Blacksmiths, might I inquire if you have some better plate armor than what I have here?
Plate armor? Oh, what do you got there? And they kind of take a little look at what you're doing there. The one that's not measuring you, the full orc. He's got a surprisingly not deep and dumb sounding voice or anything like that. He just kind of sounds like, "Yeah, what you got there? Let me check that out."
Okay. It seems to be just a basic set. My guess is steel.
Oh yeah. We could get something better for you. And the guy measuring champion says, "You know what we should make it out of? Mithril." And they both start laughing.
Solidly as a rock this whole time. He gives a smirk at that.
Oh, this is a fun scene to picture. So yeah, you guys have a laugh about that, and they're like, "What are you thinking? Are you thinking something pretty? Are you thinking something light and strong? Are you thinking something that you can imbue some magic into?
Imbuing magic does sound like my style.
Then what we could do is we could get you a full silver slash steel set of plate. It'll have slots in it for any kind of runes or magical gems that you're gonna need to put in there, and I'm sure one of our local shamans would like to
Or
bless
for
it.
gambling.
Or for
Okay.
Got slots, right?
slots.
And would it be more heavily armored than my current set as well?
It'd probably be about the same, but then you'd be able to imbue some magical qualities into it. If you want to get something stronger, you're going to have to forego the magic possibilities and go straight titanium steel alloy. And you can hear the dwarf go,
Okay.
He's like got his back to everyone, like wrapping the leather around the hilts again and pulling daggers into a pile fiercely, like he's pissed.
Are they mithril daggers?
Wait, so titanium can't be imbued with magic?
What's that?
Titanium can't be imbued with magic?
I mean, you could maybe cast some temporary effects on it, but if you want to really if you really want to get any kind of components or magical items to work in conjunction with it, you're gonna need something it can be put into. And titanium can't have any kind of flaws in it. It has to be solid.
Can mithril have?
They start joking, and the dwarf turns around suddenly and goes, yes, it can.
Really?
Well, Master Dwarf, you're in luck. I'm gonna have to go with mithril instead.
And then he kind of points at both of his coworkers and goes, ha! And then he flips them both off. Fuck you guys!
I have to admit, mithril sounds kind of perfect.
The other two guys kind of like stop laughing and like look at each other and they're just like, the fuck just happened?
Bitch.
Okay, yeah, so I head over to the dwarf too. Yeah, let's talk prices. How much would this cost?
Well, for a full set of like, I can't do fucking accents. For a full set of that, it's probably gonna run you about 5,000 with mithril. All of it's ancient, basically. It's all been mined already. It's short supply. It's expensive shit.
And I'll still be able to enchant it as well.
Oh yeah. I'll make sure to leave the engravings and slots there. Slots. I don't know what else to fucking say to. Yeah.
Socketed.
Sockets. Yeah,
Socket,
that's
yeah.
way better. It's the same thing,
Yeah.
but that sounds so much better.
Now that I did the gambling thing, all I can think about is just Andy wearing a fucking slot machine as armor. Is it protection or a distraction?
and the dwarf turns to Champion and goes, "You want this? You want your stuff in the same, huh?"
Yes, please. I need.
And he turns. And he goes, "All right, I'll get to work on that right away. For you, it's gonna cost. Did we already do price?
No.
Okay. The staff is gonna cost you at least 3,000, and then if you want to get your gauntlets, it'll be another 3,000. Or you can get them souped up for 5,000.
5,000 apiece.
I can add some weaponry onto them.
Well, that does sound fascinating. I do like to keep it a little bit more simple.
I can respect that.
Gladiator by trade. I don't like to go too fancy.
Well, give me the gold and I'll get right to work.
Okay. So that would be 6,000 gold.
Yep.
All right.
And 5,000 from me.
All right, you give him the gold, and he grabs the supplies he needs and starts getting to work. And he says, "Come back here in about a day."
I can do Just that, Master Dwarf. Final question though, before we're off. The arena. How's the action been lately?
Psh, they might as well just shut the thing down. No one's fought there in a year.
Why?
Hey, you're that champion guy, aren't you?
Yes.
Cool.
I lost a bet on you. Damn it.
I'm undefeated. But
No, I thought you would lose.
So, we're gonna now transition over to the Temple of the All Gods, where you hear a sudden like kind of gong from underneath you, underneath the floor, and you hear a pitter patter of feet, and then from a door in between the shrines, just at the opposite side of the entrance, emerges. Holy shit,
Miguel?
Nigel, yes, and he is actually a half elf. You're kind of surprised by this because he is in full tribal like regalia. It's clear that he's not a follower of Sylvanas. He's more of a follower of
Grimace?
yeah. There you go. Thanks. So, an orc god.
Grimace.
Grimash.
Grimace hate everyone. I asked him, are you the shaman Miguel they speak of here?
Who's asking?
Osrius, a wizard, blinded in one eye. I was hoping maybe you could perhaps heal me.
And he kind of like looks at you suspiciously, and he's like, "I've seen you before. How did you escape?
Escape where?
Aren't you supposed to be in the dungeons? I could have sworn you're supposed to be in the dungeons."
I think you've mistaken me for someone else.
He turns towards the guy that's still sweeping the floor, and he's like, "Isn't this guy supposed to be in the dungeons?" And the other guy just kind of like shrugs and goes back to his sweeping.
Fuck if I know, I'm just the broom guy.
What? And he puts his hand on your shoulder and he's like, "Don't worry, I'm not the cops or anything like that. I don't care what you've done. I don't care where you're going. We're here to help everyone."
Well,
And you said you needed healing.
In prison. Yes, I was wondering if you could restore my eye. If not, then I was wondering if you sold any types of magical scrolls, or potions.
An interesting combination of requests, but of course we can help you there. Have you brought a replacement eye for me?
Well, I was hoping you would have one on standby, but I would have.
And he kind of like pats his pockets and kind of looks around. He's like, I don't have any eyes, especially not human eyes." And he's losing it.
Man, the necromancer in you is really showing. Like, why would anyone carry that?
I just love it because I'm like picturing that like he thinks you're asking for his eye. Like he's like,
Oh.
"Fuck."
He's so
No.
nonchalant about it.
My eye.
Yeah.
I need a new eye.
Look with your special eye.
Well, like
Show
I
him
can
my
put
preferred
eyes into
socket.
sockets, but I can't spawn them. And you're not gonna want one of these. You're not gonna want any Goliath eyes or anything like that. Not like I have any Goliath eyes.
Well, I hate to impose, but do you have a Goliath eye?
And he kind of like looks back and forth. He goes, "Why?"
Well, I heard they more susceptible to being enchanted with certain spells.
Stay away
Do a
from my
persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Yeah.
Boy, my charisma is just super great. I have to double check what it is real quick. Hold on.
Mm. Thank you, by the way.
Man, yes, no problem. Need some food. Where's my charisma? There it is. Persuasion would be that. Cool. Let me roll. 12.
He says, "I told you I don't have any Goliath eyes, and I don't know what you would do with one, but I don't want to find out."
Well, do you have any magic items that I can at least peruse?
That we can help you with. Here, come into the gift shop. And he kind of he leads you through an archway you haven't noticed. That's kind of on the side of the temple, and it goes into a gift shop where you can see bobbleheads of all the gods, and there's different like religious paraphernalia. There's T-shirts that says like "Sylvanas is my bitch" or something like that.
I'm now picturing this half elf to look exactly like Mel Brooks from Spaceballs.
Yeah, he looks like yogurt too. Yogurt! I hate yogurt, especially with strawberries.
Coming next, the Tyrant of Syrr 2, the Tyrant of Syrr the animated series, the Tyrant of
Merchandise.
Cereal.
But so I'm kind of like a little suspicious of this Nigel.
Uh-huh.
I want to see if I can sense his motives.
Okay, is that a check or is that a spell or?
It's insight, but I'm gonna ask him something, and then I'm gonna use my insight roll based on his response.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask him, like, do you really sell magical things? Are you just a souvenir shop?
I mean, we sell a lot of bullshit, but we also have the good stuff.
Oh God, that would be a 10.
It sounds convincing to you.
All right, well,
Aurelian,
I would
you watch them leave the gift shop too, so you're in this area if you want to interact with it, with what's going on.
Mm.
Or-
I could potentially help you out, Osrius, if you want me to like.
You're still
steal-
praying, so you could just
Yeah.
pass it off as like you weren't paying attention if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I definitely was trying to pay attention.
Okay, yeah, you were watching the whole thing. You kind of stopped praying as you watched him
Okay.
go.
go. Mm-hmm.
So like I walk into the gift shop.
You're
walk up to
definitely a little put off by the capitalization of your deities, but you also do notice a really sweet Sylvanas hat you want.
A snapback.
The funny thing is, it has fake elf ears on the side, and you think that'd be extra funny since you already have elf ears.
Yeah, four
And then
ears.
you shake the thought from your head, unless you want to keep it.
I mean, I'm pretty tempted.
So as Aurelian's kind of looking at that elf hat, the guy goes behind a counter and he kind of there's like a bunch of cupboards and he kind of opens the drawers of them and you can see potions and scrolls and you see like a couple of wands, some rings, some gems, just random shit that is all clearly arcanum stuff.
My wizard senses are tingling. I have to look at the scrolls and I start looking at those one by one to see if any of them pop out to me.
Okay, let me look at the spell book real quick. Aurelian, is there anything you want to do while I look that up?
Well, I come up to Osrius. I say I heard you. I kind of try to whisper to him, if that's possible.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I'll roll for him.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, the shopkeeper is kind of involved in his sorting stuff out. He doesn't hear you.
So I whispered to him, I heard you're trying to find some sort of eye to replace the one you lost.
Yes, that is true.
And I know this fellow over here acted like he didn't have any, but I bet that he has some sort of eye in his shop, and I'd be willing to find it for you in return for some sort of favor from you.
Favor? What kind of favor?
That I will have to think about.
Well, I mean, I don't know if the nature of this favor is in my. I mean, it wouldn't be my benefit, but I just would like to know the nature of it. I don't want to sign up something I don't know what I'm getting myself into. I've been screwed before, Aurelian. I don't want to be screwed again.
Well, you can trust that it will be fair and equitable.
Mm.
It'll be fair to the point that you get an eyeball back.
I suppose I could entertain this notion. If you can find me an eye, then very well. I will help you in a favor.
Fair enough.
Interesting arrangement.
Crusader Kings. You have a favor. I will ask you about this favor. It may not be today. But it
That's
could be
totally what I
next
think
week,
of
'cause I'm
whenever.
gonna need some pizza.
That's funny. That's exactly what I think of whenever.
I miss pizza.
I haven't had like actual pizza in a long time, other than like oven pizza.
Yeah,
Or
I
frozen
was about to
pizza.
say.
I just can't eat anything good right now. 'Cause
That's understandable.
everything fucking seems to suck for a human stomach. I'm not mad.
I'm just a little slighted, is all.
Once I'm finished done talking with Osrius, I wanted to talk to the theologian dude.
Yeah. Okay. So just as you finish your quiet deal, the guy finishes setting up everything and turns around and kind of like, all right, what interests you?
Is he talking to me?
He's talking to
Talking
both
to
of you
you?
guys. He
Okay.
notices you standing there too, and he's just like, oh, cool, like sell it to you too. But he doesn't. He's just got
I've
an
got a quick
expression.
question, and then Osrius, you can take care of whatever business you have.
Very well.
My question is, do you know of any sort of giant scorpion being kept around these here parts? I hear that orcs like to catch exotic and crazy beasts at times, and I'm wondering if there's one here.
Ugh. Well, we don't keep any in the cities, but it's strange you mention that because there's a shitload of them all out there. I don't think you want to get near those things. I hate them.
I hate them.
One of them killed my dog.
And irritated. And they get everywhere.
Is that what the broom guy said? They killed
Yeah,
my dog.
yeah. The broom guy says, "Yeah, one of them killed my dog."
Where did you say they were?
Oh, they're all up in them foothills, and can't fucking stick with an accent. They're all up in them foothills and whatnot. If you've gone to the other tribe's territory, they're just pretty much anywhere there's dirt and stone.
It's all about the scorpions, Aurelian.
Damn it, Aurelian, it's all about the scorpions. Mango!
Thanks for the information.
Yeah, you're welcome. Do you want to
Now-
buy anything?
I'd like to buy something. If you found anything for me.
Well, I've got some scrolls for you. That's his voice now. I can't. No, I'm gonna be consistently.
Transition into some Albert. Selling scrolls.
I've got some scrolls for you right here. And you.
Fat Albert with a wizard's hat and just a bunch of scrolls.
It's just like a chocolate and a bubbling.
So he shows you his scroll selection, and you can see that among it, he's got basically 4 unique ones. He's got one for enlarge reduce. He's got one for catnap. He's got one for Melf's minute meteor. Oh, Melf's minute meteors, and then one for Smash Mouth. I mean Magic Mouth.
Oh my god.
Somebody once told me this was a good spell.
Magic Mouth. Magic Mouth. Especially if you're trying to get to hard to reach places. But isn't that like a spell that lets you cast a message on an item, and then the item like says that message?
Yeah, Hilarity
I
had
think
it.
so.
Okay. And what were the others? I'm sorry.
Catnap, enlarge, reduce, and Melf's minute meteors.
What does catnap do?
Milf's minute meteors?
Yeah, right. That's what I keep saying. Catnap is a 3rd level enchantment. It's a 10-minute duration, 30 range thing. You make a calming gesture, and up to 3 willing creatures of your choice that you can see within range fall unconscious for the spell's duration. The spell ends on a target early if it takes damage or someone uses an action to shake or slap it awake. If a target remains unconscious for the full duration, that target gains the benefit of a short rest, and it can't be affected by the spell again until it finishes a long rest.
That's funny.
Yar.
And then the Melf's minute meteor, is that just like a meteor shower?
Yeah, basically, you create 6 tiny meteors in your space. They float in the air and orbit you for the spell's duration. When you cast the spell, and as a bonus action on each of your turns thereafter, you can expend 1 or 2 of the meteors, sending them streaking towards a point or points you choose within 120 feet of you. Once a meteor reaches its destination or impacts against a solid surface, the meteor explodes. Each creature within 5 feet of the point where the meteor explodes must make a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes 2d6 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one.
All right.
And
Then
increases the numbers of meteors as you use higher slots.
And the other one just basically make people big, make people small.
Yeah, that's the short of it, basically.
I like to purchase the shrink spell, enlarge and shrink spell, and I like to purchase the Melf's minute meteor.
The what? Did you say MILF?
Melf's? Well, I'm just repeating what you said.
Wow, I thought you said something about MILFs. Anyway,
I mean, are there?
are there
like,
MILFs
sorry.
in town? I mean,
I mean,
I've been keeping my eye out. I'll tell you about.
Is there a spell to cast?
A spell.
Because that would be easier than looking for them.
Then the MILFs? Yeah, I know. No. Yeah. You wanted enlarge, reduce, and the meteor one. I'm not even gonna say that by its name anymore.
Yeah.
Well, MILF's minute meteors. It costs 1,500 gold, but enlarge, reduce costs 1,000.
1,500 and 1,000. Let me check my coin purse. Hold on a moment. And I shuffle through my belongings, and let's see. And I get like another small bag, and I start taking like handfuls of my own fucking money, put it in this little bag, and I give it to him. It's like, there you are, 2,500.
And he kind of like holds it in his hand for a second, like he's like weighing it, and he's just like, "All right," like he knows that that's the exact amount of money, and gives you those 2 scrolls.
Excellent.
Aurelian, anything you want to do?
Well,
You already got you got some info from him about scorpions. That's what it was.
I'll be back sometime later.
He goes, okay. I'm closing down the gift shop then. And he closes up the stuff. And then we go back to Natir and Champion, who are leaving the blacksmith or chilling out there. Up to them.
I suggest next year that we find the other 2 and finally go talk to the leader of this place.
Yeah, I suppose that we probably should.
What the fuck is going on at the top of this? I didn't even.
I
I have not been paying attention to this at all. Why can't I buy these?
Buy these. Isn't that just a normal thing? Can't I buy eyeballs? What the fuck's wrong with this place?
In your eye socket.
Can't you see I'm a man in need of an eye? There's a demand here.
I've got the demand, you've got the supply.
And I have.
And I need your fucking eye.
Or I'll make you die.
Don't worry, I'm gonna steal it for you anyway.
I'd like to see you try. And you're like, oh, I don't even know who this conversation's with. Anyway. So they're looking for you guys. I think you guys already know that Aurelian was intending, that Osrius was intending to go to the temple. So you guys figure that that's a good place to start.
Cool. While I'm walking and just chatting along. So, were you a tribal or a city orc?
Are you asking the tier?
Yeah, I'm asking you here.
Country orc or you a city orc?
Well, I grew up in a fairly large town, though I can hardly remember it. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's been some time since I've been to the land of my birth as well. Why did you leave?
Well, my parents died when I was very young, and I was raised by actually some full orcs, a whole tribe of them.
What was the name of the tribe?
The Grub Grubs.
Grub grubs.
There's actually a tribe that was not too far from mine called the Grim Grub Grubs.
The Grim Grub.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe they were an offshoot. I don't know how
Warcraft orcs.
name works specifically, but
I love that. They're a spin-off.
It's a tribal schism.
well, sometimes like the second son will leave and start their own tribe and all that.
Yeah.
I suppose it's a possibility.
I never did take the time to learn Orcish. Could you teach me sometimes? I'm mostly kidding.
I mean, I can try. It's a fairly guttural language.
Have you heard
Orcs are
giant?
dwarves.
I guess touche.
So, Osrius and Aurelian, what are you doing as they're walking towards the temple?
Well, I'm
He's
like-
closed up the gift shop and you've got your scrolls into your purse or your bag.
I'm gonna stand like kind of out of the sight from the shop, and then I'm kind of just waiting and looking at Aurelian to see what he's gonna do with his bargain.
So basically, what I do is I find a like the darkest location I can within the temple,
Okay.
and I shapeshift into a cat.
Okay. So you go to the alcove that has Lolth, the spider god, and it's shrouded in darkness, and it gives you enough darkness to be able to turn into a cat. Give me a stealth check.
All right.
Drow live here. Fascinating.
Stealth is okay. We will.
I feel
No
like it's a
advantage or
good thing
anything.
is never around when you're like getting really
I
racist.
don't think I'll need advantage. That is an unnat 21.
I'm so sorry. What are we rolling about right now?
Stealth.
Stealth. You successfully are a kitty cat without anyone noticing.
All right. And so I will slink along this dude or whatever the half elf to see where he's going.
Okay. So as a cat, you follow him as he goes back through that door he came through, and he walks around a spiral staircase down to a sort of basement area, and you notice that it's kind of it kind of fuck. It's got like a fire pit down there, and it's got a lot of cloth, not tapestries, but like curtains or something like that, that are enshrouding the bonfire, and you can smell that incense is burning on it. And there's a lot of effort to keep it from like damaging stuff. And across it from you is obviously his bedroom and stuff like that. And he's going towards there. I'm so sorry. I'm really trying.
Okay.
I want to slink like behind him into his bedroom.
Okay, so you follow him into the little bed area of his area, and he starts kind of like taking off his robe.
Oh God.
Gross.
Wow.
So you watch
He's like, "Nice."
as he gets full naked.
Oh my gosh. This is a little awkward. So I decide to go back out of his bedroom and go back towards the gift shop.
Okay, so you climb. I'm sorry. You climb back up the stairs, go through the door into the antechamber with all of the alcoves, and you kind of slink back towards the door where the gift shop is, and you notice that it's locked, or at least you think it is. You're a cat, so you can't go up and try very well.
Ah, okay. Well, I guess I'll have to see if he has any eyes in the bedroom, or attempt to.
Okay, so you're gonna sneak back down there.
Yeah.
Give me a stealth check again. Osrius, what are you doing during this?
I'm casting. What is it? Find familiar. It takes 10 minutes, so I imagine like by the time he's done,
Okay.
I'll have a familiar.
Cool.
That would be an 11.
So as you go back down the stairs that time, you notice that he's kind of just like naked, sitting cross-legged on his bed and like doing chants and stuff like that while he stares into the fire. He's not like full on meditating, but he notices the kitty cat come down and kind of smiles and he goes, "Hey, kitty cat, come here."
Oh,
Actually,
God.
sorry, that should actually be a 12, but because I was doing my own stealth, not the cat's stealth. But
Okay, yeah, same thing happens.
yeah. So like I come up to him and like rub on his leg and purr and shit.
So you do that, and he's just like, "Wow, kitty cat," and he like starts just like really going to town on your head and behind your ears, and he's like, "Good kitty, kitty, where'd you
Like
come from?"
while he's doing that, I'm attempting to try and smell out like some sort of like eyeball related scent.
Give me an investigation check, and you
Smell
have
like
advantage
eyes.
because you're a kitty cat and you can smell better.
Is could you do a perception check instead?
Sure.
You my keen smell as a cat?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Do
Cool.
that.
Let's see. Okay, that'll be pretty good. So I got a +9. Oh, we're using a nat 1. I don't want to use layout.
Uh-oh.
19.
All right. Whoa! I lost everyone's webcams.
We lost yours as well.
Oh no.
I'm gonna refresh real quick. 19. Fuck. What were you doing again?
I was trying to smell out an eyeball.
Oh yeah. Wow. All right. So you smell and you know that you're smelling correctly, but you just don't smell an eyeball in the room. You can smell like a rat tail. You can smell like a newt's eye, which is so much smaller than you need. You could smell like some friggin' roots that are dank.
Dank
Some
roots.
dank roots.
Dank roots. Little pine trees.
But you don't smell what you're looking for. But you can tell that you smelled right and that it's because that's not there, not because you smelled wrong.
Okay. So I decided to exit the room and go back up to where Osrius is located.
All right, give me an acrobatics check.
Okay.
Do a little trill.
Why is my dad calling me right now? Hang on, this might be important. I'll be right back.
All right.
Hello?
For a minute, I thought you were gonna like wait till he goes to sleep and then claw out one of his eyes and then bring it to me.
I thought you were just gonna steal the keys out of his pocket.
What?
I guess that's a good idea. I could do that.
We just have to locate the prize.
Since the door is locked, yeah, you're right. I'll forego my first action. wait till he falls asleep.
I swear I need to start a guild that allows necromancers purchasing rights.
Is that an old wizard right now?
Huh?
I imagine from the voice, Osrius is an old wizard.
Yes.
But how old?
Owl, Mr. Owl.
That's funny. He was calling me because I wasn't responding to his texts, and he was worried that something was wrong.
Oh,
And that's the reason I answered in the middle of a D&D session. Okay,
he's like, it's your turn. For me
that's
to worry
funny.
about you.
Hey Phoenix,
What's
can
up?
I backstep real quick? And I wanted to change my course of action while I'm
How
still in
so?
the room.
Yeah.
So I wanted to. I'm just gonna wait until he falls asleep,
Okay.
and um, once he falls asleep, I'm gonna see if he has like any sort of key or some
Okay.
keychain that I can steal from him.
You might be waiting a bit because right now he's just kind of doing chants. He's naked, but it's also like 1 p.m., so you don't.
Ah.
He's probably not going to be going to sleep anytime. You guys left the healing hut at like 10 a.m.
Well, maybe I should just kill him.
What the fuck?
Take his
I, I mean, I'm chaotic neutral, so I really don't care. Like,
I need your eyes. You you have
Wait,
your
but isn't
mother's
he the one that can
eyes.
actually use them to heal Osrius?
Huh?
Yeah, who will heal them?
Yeah, like
Mm.
isn't he the guy that was gonna use the eye to heal you?
Yeah.
He said he had different eyes that like weren't good for me, so that's why I didn't really pursue that. So until he's like, well, I may or may not have this Goliath eye. So
Well, no, what I'm saying though is like if you kill him, then who's gonna repair your eye?
I can always find someone else.
Okay.
But what
I'm
if you
kind of
don't?
done with this man anyway. He's useless to me. He's no shaman. He's a poser.
I could
Fair enough.
potentially get your money back too.
I mean, if you want, I'll give you half of it.
That'll be the favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
All right.
So, like, he's still what doing his trance or chants or whatever.
Yep.
Okay. So like, I literally like come up right to the foot of his bed, and let's see, what am I gonna do?
And as the cat is trying to decide, here's the front door open again, and a Tyr and champion walk through the temple door, and see the guy sweeping the floors still at the top, and you notice Osrius just kind of chilling by a door that above it says gift shop, and he kind of just he kind of has like this look like he's like not supposed to be there or anything like that, like he's like looking out for cops.
I must have just got done casting my familiar spell too, so I have a little owl on my shoulder.
Ah, yeah, and you see this cool ass. What kind of owl? Can I pick?
It's like a barn owl, I guess.
Fuck yeah, it's a barn owl.
They have the cool face, right?
Yeah, they got the heart-shaped face.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Champion's just gonna ignore the fact that you're trying to be like inconspicuous and just like walk up to you like normal and like he wants to meet.
I am a little peckish.
Oh, I
I
bought
grab.
mine.
Well, thank you. I start eating it like while start like looking at where Aurelian might be, and then looking back at them.
And as you hand it to him, the guy sweeping kind of like lifts his head and smells, and he goes, "Oh man, I smell some lamb shanks."
This is the most animated I've ever seen you, Brune boy. Would you like some of my lamb shake?
I can have some of your lamb shank.
Yeah.
Can we eat it at the same time?
Well, I can give you a piece, and you can eat that on your own. How about that?
Oh yeah, that's probably safer.
6 feet and all that. Here you go.
So he takes a little bit off and he kind of just eats it, and as soon as he puts it in his mouth, his eyes roll back, and he's just like, oh yeah. And he's just
I
kind of
look back-
lost in like a dream as he chews.
I look back to champion, but what did you get in these?
What was it?
Teriyaki?
I let the master cook the meal.
And I
Whatever
take
it
a
is,
bite
what
and
he decided.
it's like,
But where's the elf?
that's a good question. I think he went off to do some errands for me.
Will he be long? We do have to go meet with someone.
Osrius,
Hey,
do a persuasion check real quick.
Yeah, no, champion is just ignoring all sorts of subtlety right now.
10.
So as you
Okay.
say that, the guy finishes kind of chewing, and then he kind of like looks at it and he goes, "Yeah, wait, I didn't see the elf leave. Where is he?"
He's doing something. I forgot what he told me. I'm a little tired. I'm an old man after all.
And he kind of
Well, we
eyes you
did
suspiciously,
We did die recently.
and then he eyes Champion suspiciously.
No, we
Oh,
got better.
oh right, you're the you, you're the. We got better.
We got better. It's okay. We got better.
It took me a second to be like, "Where is that from?" That's Monty Python. Ah, I love it.
The classics.
This has been funny. uh, yeah. He's like, "Oh yeah, you guys are the four that they caught in the sea from the explosion and the shit.
Yes.
Well, found is probably a better word than caught, but yes.
Caught, captured, took aboard, whatever."
I mean, are we your prisoners? Or are we your guests?
I would say that you're our guests, but we
I
certainly
mean, I did
caught
just-
you in a pickle.
We did just buy weapons. I don't think they would sell weapons to.
That's true. And that just did by magic. I don't think they would sell that to prisoners either.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm old.
What if this is all just a Truman Show for you guys?
I cast
So,
frostbolt on the
You
dome.
ever thought about like, what if we aren't really us, and like there's other people who are us but not us? You know what I'm saying?
And they like dictate what we do.
Yeah.
It's like everything's just up to like a die roll almost. So random.
I'm so ready for this encounter.
So I guess we're waiting for. What is the elf's name again?
Aurelian.
Aurelian. Well, no, I'm literally asking them because like
Oh
we
god.
haven't really had time to talk because we
Yeah,
were
that's true.
fighting and then we died and now we're buying shit.
Yeah.
So he knows some. He put the name. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to interject then.
Yeah. So what was the elf's name again? Mateer?
Wait, sorry, say that one more time.
The elf. What's the name?
Oh, Aurelian?
Oh, thank you. Now I can stop calling him the elf. I don't like it when people call me the Goliath. So, you know.
You know, I think he'd prefer to be called an elvish person.
So really, yes. Are we gonna suppose we wait for him?
And
Yeah.
Osrius is just like being very coy and ignoring your questions.
He
For-
should be by soon.
And that's kind of how he says it, like he chokes on his own air as he's saying it.
Okay.
I'm smoking my wizard.
His eyes.
Wait, what?
Champion's not gonna say a word. He's just gonna like squint his eyes at Andreas a little bit after that flub. Yeah, just kind of like let it sit there for a second. Let Andreas kind of like get
Yeah.
a little hot under the collar for a moment.
So you now have two people who are basically just eyeing you suspiciously.
But then Champion's like, "Oh, okay. I guess we're waiting," and just like gets a little nonchalant.
And I just kind of like sigh in relief, but subtly.
So Broom guy kind of stops with his thing and kind of sets it against a wall. He's still kind of eyeing you suspiciously, and he says, "I'm gonna go check something." And he kind of goes towards the door that leads downstairs.
Why would you want to check that when I have more of that succulent meat you love so much right here? I've only ate a little nibble. There's still at least a good 3/4 of it left.
Champ, he's just like gesturing silent.
Guys, I really need to pee. Hold on a second. This is awesome. I will be right back.
I refresh my screen. Everyone like froze for a second. And
Yeah, you
just making
vanished.
the stupidest face, Phoenix.
That's just my face, man.
No, you're actually making a concerted effort to make a dumb face.
Oh, nice.
And it
Usually
still, like,
that's just
froze
what it.
there.
Alright, be
I
right.
made a third drawing, guys.
Oh no, what is
What?
Go to the bottom.
Oh god. It's getting a little too hot in here. Do all the pants say juicy on the butt?
Yeah, they should.
Juicy or pink or hot?
Yeah.
Any of those would
Or
work.
the cool mom that does have milk on the butt.
Oh, yeah. Or also known as Walmart trash sometimes.
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna keep this internal role playing going on for a second. I'm just like, that sounded weird. That's like, you got that right? That was weird. What?
That was
mean-
weird, right?
Yeah, I whispered to Champion, like, I'm pretty sure they're up to something, but we probably don't want to blow their cover, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just winking at you guys with my good eye. So it looks like I'm just blinking. Fuck.
Is he blinking?
I kind of.
Where did you find these people?
I mean, Osrius I've known for a fair bit of time now, and he's mostly pretty good.
I tried to be.
That's what that feels like it's doing a lot of work. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, you gotta have some give and take when you're working with a necromancer.
I've casted some spells that saved you. You can't just cast me aside like I've done nothing.
Well, of
Well,
course not.
champion.
You are quite the wizard, Osrius. Of course.
Well, thank you. My
How long
feelings
have
are
you
slightly
been-
less hurt.
Wizarding. I just want to get into. You studied, right?
I studied at CF for a while until I was exiled. Not for necromancy though, just for trying to stand up for rights and other people.
Oh. Cool.
But then I started practicing necromancy because I knew it would be
It's getting a little
school
too
of magic
thought in
that
here.
the Syrran Empire would
I love
least
that.
expect.
I don't know if that logic tracks, but then again, I'm also not a wizard, so.
What I
That's
miss.
fine. We're just kind of like talking to each other in character.
I briefly heard a failed attempt to wink. I think that was great.
I was trying to like wink at them to let them know that like we're trying to do something sneaky, but then I'm like, wait, I only have one eye, so it just looks like I'm blinking. Fuck.
So he was going towards the door, and so Aurelian, you're a kitty cat. You're kind of just getting pet by this guy who's chanting and staring into the fire all naked, and you hear the door open up top.
And did you not want my meat, sir? Did you just gotta
Give me a persuasion check.
Excuse me, offering you such a delicious meal for 11 in my persuasion attempt.
Let me give you my meat.
Get your meat right here.
Get your meat right here.
Come and get your meat.
So he kind of stops and looks at you again, and he's just like, "Why do you want me to eat that so much?"
Because you obviously love it. Don't pretend like you don't. You were salivating when I gave you just a tiny piece earlier. Now you're just like, I want me to eat it.
Champion's face is in his hands. It's too sexual. It's too sexual.
Aurelian, are you done in there?
I'm literally I'm waiting to see like how
what's happening?
I mean, I'm ready whenever y'all are ready.
So he's definitely stopped in his tracks, and he's just kind of like staring.
You cannot deny this logic. You cannot deny
And
your
he stops for a
cravings.
second. And he goes, "Wait, what are you talking about?"
You can't be serious. Do you have dementia?
I can't tell if these are euphemisms. What's going on here? Are you hitting on me?
I'm trying to give you a piece of meat because I'm not hungry.
Avoiding the action.
My meat intact.
All right, I just want to be clear. You want me to have a bite of that lamb shank that's in your hand, right?
Yes.
Okay, and he looks towards the others and he goes,
Fool.
"Just so we're all clear, I'm just gonna have a little bit of a lamb shank, all right?
You can have it all, actually. I don't want it.
Take it all."
Please.
When you said you didn't even want that, like Telltale's Champion will remember it.
Wait, what?
It's like when you said, "I didn't even want the meat." The Telltale games, Champion will remember that.
Okay.
Who was that?
In his tribe, when someone gives you meat, you eat it. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, how can
When
you say
someone
no to
gives you
this?
meat, you eat it. What are you, an
It is the
asshole?
fruit
It's kind of gifting that
So- So yeah, you're definitely casting some shade at him now. But the guy's like, all right, I'll take it. And he comes over and he grabs the meat thing and he goes, "Thanks." He starts chewing on it and he starts walking back to the door.
Well, that's all I could have done. That's all I wanted to do.
So, Aurelian, you hear the door opening from above and you hear feet start to descend the thing. You also hear like, oh yeah, oh that's what I like.
See, I told you liked it.
I'm gonna wait. So can I have like a spell prepared?
Like as a reaction.
I mean, I guess like as soon as like I come out of like my shapeshift.
As
Casting
long
a
as it's
spell.
an instant cast, yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, it should be. It's just one action.
Which spell is it?
Verbal and somatic. So looks like I have to do some sort of.
Is there a duration or not?
Yeah, you'd have to be able to speak.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I'm saying like when I come out of my shape shifting form into my human form, I want to cast the spell.
Okay. Yeah, you can just do that when you let me know when you come out of it.
Yeah, as soon as the guy, whoever it is, comes through the door and I can see him.
Okay. So yeah, you hear the sounds arrive at the door that goes to the stairs, and you hear him knock on it, and you can hear with a mouthful of food him go, "Hey, is everything okay in there?"
Okay, I'm waiting tentatively.
And you hear the guy, the naked guy go, "What? What do you want? I'm naked in here."
Oh, no.
And he goes, "I know, you're always naked in there. I'm just- Have you seen the elf? I don't think he left the temple. Did he go down there?" And he goes, I haven't seen an elf. There's a cat here, though. And he goes, "A cat? Where the hell did the cat come from?" And you can hear the doorknob opening. And as he does, you see the guy just with a bone in his hand, finishing the last little bite of it as he goes through, and he notices you.
So I immediately come out of shapeshift form and I cast Hold Person on both of them.
Okay, what does that do
Oh.
again? I was actually looking at this just a second ago.
So
Freezes them.
It kind of sounds like what it
Oh,
means,
I actually
but
have
it's
it
a
right
little
here.
different.
Choose
so
a
they
home and
both have to make a Wisdom 17 better saving throw. I think the attack save is 17 Wisdom. Otherwise, they're paralyzed for up to 1 minute.
So it looks like the guy who just walked through the door failed, but the shaman passed.
Okay. All right.
So you jump out and you hold the guy there. Yeah, the guy's paralyzed kind of mid-chew and kind of has a surprised look because he noticed you unshape-shifting. And the
Classic.
naked guy kind of like freaks out because you unshape-shifted in his lap, and he's like, ah! And he kind of falls to the ground, dick and balls all out for the world.
Tell him
And
to blackmail
you
him.
guys upstairs hear like a sudden like commotion downstairs, and you heard a very distinctive sound of like Aurelian chanting a spell.
Well, that's where he is. Let's go. And
Wow.
I run towards the sound.
All right, do you guys all go?
Yeah, I reluctantly follow.
Natir sighs as she shores up the rear.
Champion's gonna take a second. He's gonna process this for a moment.
Okay, so Champion is still kind of just like, what the fuck? And he kind of sits there for a moment
Who are
as
these people that I've gotten myself mixed with?
Osrius leads the two-person party through the door and goes down there while Champion chills out upstairs for a second, thinking. So they're still caught by surprise. So combat hasn't necessarily begun. The shaman guy on the floor is kind of scrambling to get something to cover himself, and all he can find is a teapot, and he puts that just over his junk.
I mean, is he trying to fight back, or is he just like? Oh.
No, and as he stares at you, he's just like, "Who? What the fuck? What are you doing? Why are you pretending to be a cat? Is this how you get your sick kicks?"
I look straight at him I'm like, well, it really felt good when you were petting me on the head.
I'm pretty sure this is a sin. This feels like a fucking sin.
It is now.
So, and I said, enough with the pleasantries. Tell me the truth. Do you have a Goliath eye or not? You better not lie to me either.
Give me an intimidation roll. Check.
Okay. I got a 7.
7.
I want to see if I can use insight to see if he's lying, though. Like if he gives me a
Yeah.
shitty answer.
Okay, yeah, you can use an insight check after he answers. So he kind of just gets like kind of pissed off. He's a little indignant now and everything like that. And he sets the teacup down. And he's like, "You know what? I'm not covering my dick." and he kind of looks at you and he goes, "Look, freak, I don't have a Goliath eye, but we just buried a Goliath in the graveyard, all right? I didn't want you to go digging up cadavers and shit like that, but if that's what it takes you to stop fucking trying to sexually assault me, then go dig in."
Out here now. Champion might have a problem if you go grave robbing from another Goliath.
Yeah, that thought has crossed my mind.
Yeah, he is very much about his people and their rights. It's just throwing that out there.
Luckily,
What's
you're
your,
up there and you didn't hear him.
No. Yep.
Yep.
This is meta. This is meta. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure
This could be some interesting inter-party conflict.
being a necromancer was never easy.
It ain't easy being a guy obsessed with dead people.
And the afterlife and just staying immortal forever. But, a man can dream.
I guess. As long as you tell me where exactly this body is hidden, or buried, I should say.
I mean, it's the fresh lot. You can't miss it. It's the one that's been buried recently.
Hmm. Maybe you should blackmail him about being naked or something. I don't know. Just to try to get the money you want.
Do
How
you guys
would I
know that this guy's
blackmail
naked in his room?
I found you naked in your own house.
Do you have any proof? No, but I was a cat and I saw it. All right.
I guess we got nothing to go on.
I feel like he can blackmail you now.
Yeah.
Do I show up to the scene?
Oh yeah, so you guys burst through the door as he started being like, "Look, I don't have a Goliath eye."
Oh,
So you caught
God.
everything after that part there.
Could you? And I do this and look away. I'm like, what's happening here?
Luckily, the petrified guy is in just such a good angle that it blocks off any genitals from your line of
Oh.
sight.
Good.
But
I thought
you're
I was looking over his shoulder or something.
Just a heads up, that spell only lasts a minute.
which one?
The
Paralyzed one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's been about 30 seconds now, I'd say. Okay, it's probably been about a minute now. So, just after saying, "Look, if you don't want to sexually assault me, it's the freshly dug one. The guy unfreezes and kind of finishes chewing. He's just like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?"
At this point, Champion is like, and he starts walking down the stairs.
So then you hear a much heavier set of feet coming down the stairs, and then Champion emerges to find the very confused guy, finishing his chew and looking very angrily at the elf guy who is standing in front of a naked guy not covering his junk, and being very pissed off at the elf as well, while Osrius and Atir are kind of confused and disgusted.
He's our elven friend. He's not sound of mind. We are his caretakers. We apologize for this. Come, elf friend. We must leave now. And I try to get Aurelian out of there.
Do a performance check.
Atir, can you help me?
Okay, yeah. Come, dear boy. We'll have to get you your medicine. You know you can't go wandering off like this.
Then you have advantage on that.
Okay.
Oh,
20s.
what the fuck? Wait, no, that one's an 8 technically, but it looks like it's a 20 to me. But that's fucking still awesome.
You're right.
But you got the nat 20, so you pull it off flawlessly, and so the guy is just like, well, take better care of your patients. Don't let them just run into temples, and especially don't let them burst into people's bedrooms while they're having alone time.
Of course. I'm so sorry that we have accosted you, sir. And I take out 5 gold and I give it to him for your troubles.
And he takes it and he kind of looks around at where he could put it.
I'll let you figure that out. Come.
Thanks. Oh yeah, he could turn into a cat if you didn't know. That's fucking probably how he broke out.
Oh, we know. It's a rare condition he has. It's kind of like epilepsy and not narcolepsy. I meant it just happens.
I'd put him on a leash if I were you.
Can do. I keep pushing everyone out of the temple.
So, Champion, you've just walked in to see them pretending to be psychiatric doctors leading Aurelian back out, and you have no idea what the fuck is going on.
And I look at Champion like, we must leave, Champion. I know this looks strange, but we have to go.
Okay. Champion's unfazed by the nudity. That's not even
Yeah.
right. Alright, turn to priority. Not. In terms of everything else, is like, He just goes back into the monk Zen mode. And like, okay.
And so he
Um,
follows you guys, I guess.
Thank
Yeah,
you for understanding.
All right, so you guys leave his room or whatever, and you hear him close and lock the door behind you. Or actually, no, and then you hear him unlock it and then open the door and then shove the other guy through it and then close it and then lock it. And then the other
Is it
guy just
all-
goes, "Hey man, I thought we were gonna smoke."
This is like Cheech and Chong.
Hey, man.
Hey man, why are you always naked in there?
Aurelian's not here, man. It's extra funny because your name's Dave.
Shit.
All right. So would you guys like to leave the temple?
yes.
Yes.
Heads up, we got about half hour left
Okay.
before I gotta call it.
As we're
Well-
going up the stairs, I whisper into Osrius's ear, "There's a freshly buried corpse right outside here that perhaps contains the eye that you're seeking."
That is something. Thank you.
What's your passive perception, champion?
This is a 14.
All right, Aurelian, roll a stealth check and beat 14.
A stealth check.
That's the best thing I can
Okay.
think of for whispering. I don't know what the fuck whispering would be.
Okay, yeah. That would be a 12.
So champion, you heard Aurelian say that, but Aurelian, you're pretty convinced that you said it quiet enough.
Did he specifically say the word alive, or did he just say body?
You just said body.
Okay, so for now, champion is just going to log that away. So it is a definite champion will remember that moment. He's not going to say anything.
Well, now that we're out of the temple, I've learned some new things. And I explained to them that I got shrinking and large and I could do the meteor stuff.
Ooh. How fancy.
So, what did you do today, hmm?
Well,
Besides, busting in on our caper.
Spent a lot of money, but should be worth it come tomorrow.
Oh,
bought some meat, and with that, I take out that last bit of meat that you would assume goes to Aurelian. But after everything that just happened, champion just kind of rips it in half and gives the other half to Natir. Starts
Aw.
eating the half he's keeping.
Oh, thanks.
Aw.
And I just start devouring it.
I'm kind of over meat.
and champion, you're oddly drawn by the way she just devours her fucking portion of the meat. It's exactly the way you hoped she was gonna eat it.
Wow.
Not like that. Not like that. But champion does know, has always stated that human elf women just don't know how to eat.
Yep, and so you have kind of like a little bit of a kinship respect for the way she's devouring it. Osrius and Aurelian are a little bit grossed out. Just a little bit.
Not the worst thing I've seen,
You
but
you both have lived rough too, so you're like, shit's shit. I ate a fucking
mean-
fish once.
Well, it can't be seen in half elf naked.
Yeah, no, you're grossed out by the way she's eating, but you're fine after the naked dude. Yeah, I don't know.
that's why I said I'm a little done with meat today.
Well, in terms of things to do before the day's out, I do suppose we should speak to our saviors and the leader of this place.
Chief
That's
Half-Oaf.
What was the guy's name again that we're supposed to be talking to?
Chief Half-Oaf.
Yes, let's go find Chief Half-Oaf. And I suppose, I guess I would probably know where that place would be.
Yeah. So you know that the leadership of the city hangs out at Vigon Stronghold, which is that
Alright.
huge, imposing cliffside castle that you can still see from where you're at.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been there.
Champion starts moving that way, but he's not really used to traveling with people a whole lot, so he kind of forgets to adjust his stride for our shorter-legged friends.
Oh.
That's okay. He'll get in no problem. The guards there are pussies.
Wait, what?
You guys coming? We're going, Chief. I
Yes. Sorry.
Yes.
hope.
Aurel,
Yeah.
are you joining them,
Yes,
Aurelian? All
I
right.
guess I am.
My made a suggestion before we speak to this person is that Natir should probably initiate negotiations, since she fits in better here. I suppose you could too, champion.
I know this man. This is not been the first time I've been.
Either one of
Right.
them could do it.
I was going to say, I forgot you're famous.
That's useful.
They're with me.
That's useful.
All right, so you guys go about your walk, catching the occasional like amazed glance from people who notice Champion, and you guys go to the same gate, and you notice that there's been a slight. No, it's actually the same guards. Fuck that. It's the same guards.
A shift change.
I was about to say there was gonna shift change, and I was like, nah, fuck that. It's the same guards, and they notice Natir, and you notice the one that like told you he was on his third strike or whatever, just like notice you and instantly like avoid eye contact and just like trying to keep quiet and everything. And the
Hey guys, I'm
supervisor
back.
kind of waves at you, the other guy.
Hey, so can we get in here to go speak to the chief?
They kind of look at each other for a second, and then they look at you guys and they nod, and the door opens enough for you
Well,
guys to
thank
pass through one by one.
Thanks. And I look at the like little pussy guard, and I'm just like, hey, you did a lot better this time. And I give him a little punch on the shoulder.
I'm just
give me a strength check.
you broke his little fragile bones.
That would be a. Oh shit! I have to add my bonus onto that too. So that's a 17.
So you meant to just give him a little love tap, but you hit him really hard in the shoulder, and he kind of stumbles, and his helmet falls down over his eyes for a second, and he like kind of like looks around like he's like doesn't know which way he's going.
Where am I?
Sorry,
He
man.
just looks over and wait.
The lights went out. Oh
Is
no.
that Timid Tim's son? Did he get on the guard, Timid Tim?
And the other guard kind of like snaps his finger at you because he's like, "Oh, it's you," and he just kind of goes, "Oh yeah, you know it. You know this place. You called it."
How's Timid doing these days?
And he's like, he kind of does some hand gestures that you know kind of means like, I I can't talk when I'm working.
Alright. But then Champion's like, okay.
And he kind of offers a fist jab.
Yeah. Boom.
And then he does like a little explosion thing.
He doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. He's just like, okay.
He's all right with that.
And then we just turn around and just keep walking.
So you guys are now in the fortress. So you guys, fuck. As you guys kind of approach the stairs of the actual building itself, a halfling half orc comes out. Yeah, right?
What?
Never seen this shit
What?
before,
A
have
goblin,
you?
you mean?
What?
Huh.
Isn't that goblin?
I mean, I guess. Huh.
Kind of. Kind of.
So wait, if Frodo fucked an
Mhm.
Orakai,
Mm-hmm.
that's how goblins exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of hobbits fucking orcs.
I mean, they got
Damn it,
come
goblins
from
are
somewhere.
orcs.
Disgusting.
Yeah, no, kind of like a goblin, but more sophisticated than that.
No, yeah, I'm just teasing.
And you
So
just
before
have.
we get-
Wait, sorry.
I was gonna say before we get into the room proper, I was wondering, can I roll a history check to see how much I remember of old half oak?
Sure. Roll that history check.
11.
So you haven't personally met Chief White. I almost call him Chief White Hatfoot, which is where I kind of got the name from, Chief Half Elf. But you do know his father, Chief Full Oaf,
Full. Okay.
and he
Dang,
was a full orc. He was kind of a bloodlusty guy. His whole thing was really revitalizing the arena circuit, which is kind of how you know him so well.
Right. So yeah, I don't like him then, because this would have been during my slave days.
Yeah,
All right.
at least
yeah.
his father.
All right. Cool.
So this halfling, half orc guy comes out and he goes, "Ah, yes, we were expecting you. Come with me if you want to meet with the chief. Or are you guys going to the dungeon? I know that there was another one that was caught along with you, and I wasn't sure if that's who you were coming for."
No, not at the moment. We are going.
Good. We'll leave that Syrr and trash to rot down there.
Oh, is he talking about me?
No.
And he kind of looks at you for a second. And he's just like, "Wait a second.
Uh-oh.
How'd you get so young?
Me?
And guards, isn't he supposed to be in the dungeons?" And
I don't believe this is who you think.
do a persuasion
old.
roll.
All right. Do I get advantage?
I'm
Yes.
flattered.
Since
Thank
you're
you for calling
famous.
me young.
15.
15. So he like stops the guards for a second. He's like, "Wait, I don't know if I believe you, but the man down in the dungeon is at least 60. This can't be him. It just are you related to the prisoner? You just have an uncanny appearance."
I tell you, I mess this up sometimes too, but there are some differences between the humans.
I just rolled my eye.
Really hard to notice sometimes.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even realize that's what I was doing. Oh, and he gets really embarrassed and he's just like, "Okay, yeah, you're I'm so sorry." And he turns to Osrius and he's just like, I didn't mean anything by that.
Can you let us through, you idiot?
Okay, yeah. Well, follow me. I'll take you up to the throne room.
Something he would totally say.
So, you follow the little guy, who is not making any small talk because he's so embarrassed now, up to a sort of throne room is what they call it, but it's really more of just kind of like a hunter pit or something like that. It's like half hunter's lounge, half dining room, and you see at the table, not even at the throne itself, is a full orc man. It's got to be at least in his 60s, and he's got a white braided hair and a huge beard that is braided in like several different knots that kind of weave together in like a weird fashion. And you see an enormous set of pauldrons on him that kind of signify him as the chieftain. And he looks towards you as the I realize I kind of just stopped there. He looks towards you as the door opens, and he instantly is like, "Ah, yes, you're here finally."
Chief, I knew your father. Pleasure to meet you.
Is
And
that
I
you,
offered
champion? I remember. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like the way we keep kind of.
Champion.
Everyone remembers you. Known far and wide.
It like sounded like he was like coming out of like a trance or something like that. Like your face. I remember your face.
King Theoden a little bit.
Yeah. No, but when he sees you, he goes, I'm retconning this. He goes, "Ah, they said that it was you that they found in the sea, but I didn't believe them. Is that really you, champion?"
Oh, The one and only.
And he's just like, it's amazing. You look like you haven't aged a day. Do you remember me?
Slightly. It's been some time since I've been back. Yeah.
Do you
I do
accru-
remember a young orc always asking his father for his chance to prove himself.
Well,
I
he kind
see you
of
must have finally
seem-
gotten that opportunity.
he seems a little bashful. He's just like, I didn't feel like I needed to prove myself, but I suppose I have done a good job of it. He's
suppose.
talking way more eloquently than you've ever heard an orc talk before. You can tell that this guy is well educated.
Well, Chief, I'm sure we can catch up later, perhaps some dinner this evening, but I seen that you had business for my compatriots and I believe they might even have some business as well.
Oh, they do? I'd love to hear what that is first.
Natir?
Wow. Hello, Great Chief. I am Natir Jewelskin,
Honor.
and I'm honored as well. Um, I come bearing news from Le Fonel. We have a pact here that we are trying to get support for in order to take down King Messus of Syrr.
I thought they just started going to war with Syrr.
Well, the fighting never stops. But together, we stand a chance to defeat him and bring equality to all of the races.
War also never changes.
That's interesting, and
Sorry.
Half-Orc is bringing this to my attention. It must be your human side that's so concerned. Why should we be worried about it? They're across the
as
sea.
you know, I'm sure you've seen what King Messus does to our kind.
I've heard stories. My scouts bring me back news. Same
Well,
old
it's
hatred.
not pretty. Exactly. And we can change that. All we have to do is pull together.
Who's we?
Everyone. The elves, the dwarves,
The
the
elves.
half-orcs, the orcs.
So you expect us to work with the people who tried to genocide my whole people?
The elves are not perfect. But under leadership with Le Fonel, I believe we can make something work.
Sounds like
I will say,
flimsy.
to their credit, things are getting bad in those kingdoms.
It is
In
true.
Syrr. When how these people found me, I was actually captured. They've been operating, doing things to me for weeks. They're looking for our weaknesses, our strengths. The elves might have tried to genocide your people, but I fear these humans will if they continue the way they are.
You do make a persuasive point. I just can't risk my people for just such a. What if Leif-on-El backs out? What if Bayshire doesn't join? Are my people supposed to lead the fight? And I don't know if you've noticed, but we have problems of our own. Have you seen the streets? They're practically empty. Who am I going to enlist into an army when all the tribes are going back out into the wilderlands? No one wants to stay unified anymore. They're bored. They're tired. They're restless.
You say
Then
bored.
give them something to be restless about.
Is this not a cause for them to rally behind?
What if we could unite your tribes?
I have an idea. I heard your arena has been closed for some time.
That's true.
Well, and you say your people won't, you can't speak for all your people. Well, let us present this idea to the people. Let them all decide on their own. Let us host a grand tournament. And let war be known that champion will be fighting.
Mm.
Have them send their
Bring a lot
biggest,
of orcs here, for sure.
their strongest, and I will take on each and every one of them. I'm sure that will draw in the crowds. Then these people present to the crowds what is going on, what is their plights, the problems, and how we can solve it, and let us come together that way.
He stops for a moment to think. He turns his back to you and faces the fireplace that's in the room, or the fire pit that's in the room, and he thinks, it's a very interesting idea. How would we sell it to them, though? I mean, it's the same concern that I just said. What if the other people back out? What's even holding Le Fonel to this?
See, there's a very
Why do you think
strange
the
thing
elves are
I've
going to keep
noticed.
their word? And then he kind of turns back around and he's just like, if only we had something like they had in the old days. They used to make pacts back then and bond together in times of war with magical documents. I don't know if I'm being too
Well,
much on the nose. I was trying
Well,
to be more
Document, a
subtle.
piece of paper.
If only there was
as
like
it
some
turns
sort of
out,
pact.
we have such a pact, and Le Fonel has already signed.
You have Dragul's Pact of the North. He's skeptical.
I do, and I present it to him.
And he's kind of blown away. He's just like, Dragul was the greatest warrior that the realms have ever seen. If he was able to unite the whole world under this pact, and Le Fonel's agreed, maybe there is a chance. Okay, I'll join the pact, but I still need an army. Champion's idea is very fascinating. What you'll need to do is get in touch with each of the tribes that have abandoned the city and see if they will be interested in such a tournament. I suspect that most of them will, but some are more difficult than the others. Do
Yeah,
this,
Orgrimmar fun again.
and you gotta get, and you've got our soldiers, our men and women will destroy Syrr.
Well,
That sounds like a deal to me.
Seems like you're two's spotlight. It's more of your thing. I don't think orcs really respect magical prowess.
So he kind of pulls out a knife all of a sudden. You guys are really scared for a second, but then he kind of cuts his palm and he offers it towards Champion.
I take the knife, cut my own palm.
They shake.
But when we cross hands, it's like that. It's like the Schwarzenegger. You son of a bitch.
And,
It's like a good
Predator?
scene from Top Gun almost. Yeah, okay, yeah. Is that the meme? The whole like the two. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Oh,
The big old
man.
muscly black arm and the big old muscly white arm.
Yeah, it's just the most manly handshake that you've ever experienced, and it's just so
Yeah.
perfect and respectful.
Now,
And he turns and offers it towards Natir as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I slice my hand as well.
Ugh, sealed in blood. Turns and does the same to Osrius.
Do I really have to?
yes.
I've lost so much things today. I lost my eye. I lost my patience.
You can lose a little blood.
I've already lost just too much of that.
If it's any
Fine.
consolation, you lost the eye 3 weeks ago.
That doesn't make it any better. And I just cut it and I
You're
did
right.
a little blood brother thing.
And he shakes your hand. He kind of gives you like a second like eye, like human. And then he turns and does the same towards Aurelian.
I give the orc a little bit of a like cautious look, but I slit my hand and shake it.
All right. You all take 1 piercing damage, or 1 slashing damage. Sorry. It doesn't really matter. You guys are gonna heal it up. in like 10 minutes anyway.
Now, Chief, if I do recall with you orcs, after a deal's been struck, it's now time to drink.
And eat. And fight. And then and you hear like the little secretary guy go, and fuck. And then the chief guy goes, no.
That's next week.
And then he like kind of turns towards Natir and goes, unless.
We'll see where the drinks take us.
So you guys spend a night of debauchery with the chief and his staff and a few of the townsfolk who were invited along. And
Were there any cute Goliath girls?
There were a lot, and they were already flocked towards you. You pretty much had your pick of the litter, because you're the belle of the ball, the head of the shaft.
I take the cutest one and the strongest one.
Nice. So yeah, you're just double fisting it there, literally. Jinx.
I'm trying to make friends with some shamans to see if I can learn any cool magic tricks.
Yeah, Osrius is smoking something he hasn't smoked before with a bunch of other shamans and seeing visions and discussing mysticism.
I'm definitely doing the same thing because I'm a druid and whatnot.
Red, and you have to hit this. I don't know what that is. He just told me I should smoke it.
Oh, brother, I'm so down. I do this all the time out in the boonies.
Chief Half-Elf keeps hitting on Natir throughout the night, but not like in like a weird, not like in like a super creepy way, but kind of like in like a smooth guy who's really shooting his shot over and over again kind of way.
Well, what did the dice say? The dice have to decide that.
That's a good question. You're right.
Yeah.
Let's dice decide.
Oof. Okay, so he got an 11 in his attempts to sway you. How's that go?
How drunk are you?
I mean, are you into him? Are you just trying to resist his charm?
I'm indifferent at the moment. Oh, well, shit. Looks like I lost.
All right, so now you guys are playing tonsil hockey. and breathing in some of the smoke drifting over from the wizards and shaman.
What's happening over there? Oh, never mind.
Aurelian, what are you doing during the party?
I'm looking for a fancy half elf or somebody that's even close to my race.
So you've been looking around kind of for some sexy elves or kind of anyone close to that or anything like that. And as you get progressively more and more messed up and everything like that, you end up hooking up with another half-orc lady who just has particularly pointy ears and pale skin.
Good enough.
And you're hooking up in her your cat form. She's a kinky bitch.
Ooh.
Oh my God. Wow.
Why?
This pussy likes pussy.
It's just part of the foreplay. She's not literally fucking the cat. Just so you guys.
That has to not be comfortable.
I mean, I've got some good reflexes as a cat, so.
But that sandpaper tongue, though.
She's into that. She's a half-orc. She likes the pain with her pleasure.
What's your favorite grit of sandpaper, cat tongue or 7?
Oh, God.
Cat tongue being the grittiest.
I'll take a bucket of rocks. Let's call that there. You guys party into the night and have a really great time after making an agreement with Chief Half-Oak that was sealed in blood and now keeps seeming. What?
Oh, it's like Champion's doing a lot of tribal dance. Yeah.
And everyone is amazed, even though you're not actually the best tribal dancer, but they're like, he's famous, so yay.
Oh, hold on. What's
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. No, they're stroking my ego.
But you're able to blame it on the drink, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, of course, yeah, no, everyone's a bad dancer when they drink."
Except for Harold. Just like
Except for
Tyrant.
that guy, and he points over, and it's Drow Michael Jackson, and he's moonwalking.
Michael
He's like
Jackson.
better than Michael Jackson in
Michael
every way.
Jackson.
Yeah. He's even
He's
got the
black and
hat.
Does he have like a
just in the
Mithra
arena,
gauntlet?
but you have me on the stage.
It's Silva. You start dancing with Michael Jackson, and he gives you a means to contact him in the future. He's like, "Hey, this is where I live. If you want to send a bird my way, or however you email, fucking I don't know."
What do I call you? Friends call me Mike. but
They
you
call me
MJ.
Mike. Yeah, I like it. All right. That is just is all interaction and stuff. So there's no experience, but we got good setup here.
Yeah, that was a fun session.
By the way,
Yeah.
everyone gets inspiration points.
Oh, cool.
You guys all did such good role playing this session that you all deserve it. That was fun.
How many points?
Yeah.
Huh?
How many are we talking here?
Just 1 point?
Yeah, just 1 point apiece. I'm sorry.
Alright, well, I got 2 points.
That's still plenty.
Yeah, I was just seeing what I could get.
That's right. Yeah, Champion did get the one earlier, so.
I got one earlier too.
Oh yeah, that's right. I
I'm
forgot.
making that guy eat my meat.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I don't know why I'm trying to shove this in there. That doesn't go in there.
But I'm starting to see why Osrius is a villain in your other story, in that other campaign.
Oh yeah.
I can see where some of those tendencies that could go villainous.
It's like I'm just trying to
Especially
fix myself.
racism. Man, there's that racism there.
Well, it's conditional racism. It's because of like he's always been like treated like a piece of crap. He feels like he has to return the favor.
Well, I mean, incidentally, Champions is almost never on the scene when you're being racist, so he has not said.
Yeah, and like kind of as you guys get more and more fucked up, especially Osrius because he's been smoking weird stuff. Like you just have like a swirl of visions and hallucinations, and one of them was yourself, much older, behind bars, and he's just like trying to plead with you, but all you were doing is laughing, and you're like, well, "That's such a weird dream or vision."
This orc weed is too dank for me.
And all you can remember him saying is like, "I'm from the future. You have to listen to me."
Really?
And you're like, "Wow, this is some crazy ass drugs."
Do you guys know to get someone that's trying to talk to you from the future when you're smoking this?
I look at Osris and I'm like, oh yeah, man, all the time.
I always figure that that's a side effect, especially near the end of the
Champion's gonna walk up and ask for a hit. Osrius looks like he's having a good time.
I'm just like kind of in an existential, like I'm just shut down a little bit.
Yeah, and everyone else kind of has at one point had like a weird like hallucination between like a griffin speaking Spanish and like a pinata shrieking in pain and screaming for its family. They also had this weird fucking vision of there being two Osriuses, one old and one young.
Oh.
And they're like, "Whoa, we're all having a shared hallucination. How crazy!"
I look good.
Did you hear that
I was
native
younger.
language? What was that called? Spanish? That's such a weird name, right?
Yeah, right.
I'm a griffin named Spanish.
Like at one point there was a kobold speaking in Tyr's voice, and there was a friggin' Osrius was speaking in Chief White Half Wolf's voice. Yeah, Yeah, no, I I based that name off of a Catch-22 character.
Who, Half-Elf?
Yeah. Yeah, in the book there's this guy named Chief White Half-Oat. Not Oaf. And his
Uh,
thing is just he gets shit-faced every night and threatens to cut people's throats while they're sleeping.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like a swell guy.
Yeah, there was
Definitely
one
to
guy
party
he
with.
threatened to cut his throat because he was snoring too loud, and so the guy just sleeps out in the woods now, and he's like terrified all of the time. And the drunk guy forgot that he ever threatened to do that.
How tragic.
Catch-22 is fucking hilarious. I love your drawing, Sandy.
Thank
Yeah, you should
you.
just save this.
They're amazing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make a new page for next time. I'll just save this one.
Yeah, you should.
Why can't I buy these?
Fires are bad, McKay. How old are you right now? Like I feel like you kept being like, wait, no, I'm old already.
I'm like 50, 55.
What? I thought you said you were like 35 or something like that.
Let me double check.
I'm 35.
I'm Dirty Dan.
I'm dirty.
I was
Dan.
just thinking that.
Yeah, I might
I
have
don't know
missed
if
it.
I actually have his age on here.
You definitely can be, because I imagine you're so magical that you could live to be much older than normal.
I'll be 48. Why not? That's old,
That
but
works.
not too old.
You got color in your
48.
stuff in your hair, and this guy's a silver fox, the one that's in your hallucinations.
Yeah.
You're
Used
like,
to
I
be.
look good as an octogenarian.
I look good.
What'd you guys think?